Welcome live to Eric Roanhouse Field in Clovis, New Mexico. Time for Hobbs Eagle football sound check here on the internet. Ty Friend and Sovereign with you tonight. Mr. Anthony, of course, former Hobbs Eagle, and played a game here back in 2019 in that season, Sovereign. And, of course, a game tonight for the Hobbs Eagles after beating Centennial last week, a very important win. Moved Hobbs into the technically second place in the district. Carlsbad has, I think, a half-game lead because they've had an extra game than the Eagles had, but hopefully that'll be cleared up pretty quickly. But big win last week, so this game is important. And right now, just giving you a quick sound check, how do you feel about the game coming in tonight against Clovis?
Man, the game, I'm feeling great about this game tonight, man. I believe it's going to be a game. Hopefully, people are saying that it's going to be an easy game, but I don't know, man. One thing about high school, man, it is unpredictable. So Hobbs going to have a heads on because even though they got, a big game last week, man, things can easily turn around and shift around, man, for this game. But I believe it's going to be a good game, and I'm expecting a great game out of tonight.
So we'll have this pregame show coming up here in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes to be exact, 6:45. Again, you're watching or listening on the internet at this point, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, or on our Cool 95.7 Facebook page. And we will have radio coverage, again, along with everything on video at 6:45 with the official pregame show. Right now, just a sound check. Again, Hobbs Eagles will be on the road against Clovis. Next week, Thursday night, will be in Las Cruces to take on Organ Mountain and finish up the season at home against Carlsbad. And looks like Eagles in a real good shot for a chance at that fourth position in state, possibly a home bye for the first game of the playoffs, and go on from there. But they got 3 games before that happens. So we'll come back with you at the pregame show in about 10 minutes, listening live to Hobbs Eagle football on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome, everyone, to Eric Roanhouse Stadium here in Clovis, New Mexico. Time for Hobbs Eagle football. Live on the radio at Cool 95.7, on the internet, on the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, also HobbsAmerica.com. And let's not forget about the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend, Sovereign Anthony with you tonight as your Hobbs Eagles ready for another district matchup, this time with the Clovis Wildcats. Clovis got their first win of the district schedule last week over Oregon Mountain. Of course, the Hobbs Eagles, a big win over Centennial at home, 45-33, a team that was ahead of them one spot in the Max Preps poll. It's changed this week. Hobbs up to number 4, but a big win over a Centennial squad. Of course, Las Cruces Centennial, some of the best teams in the state. Eagles beat them again at Watson Stadium.
Man. Yes, it was a wonderful game last week, man. And I believe I'm expecting to see a wonderful game tonight, too, as well. Like I said earlier, Hobbs got to have their head on, even though they had a big win last week. Again, with high school football, man, it's unpredictable sometimes. So you just don't want to take any team lightly, but you want to be able to push hard and push force, and that's what I'm ready to see tonight.
944 yards total between the two teams last week, so a bunch of yards for both squads. Hobbs at 474, Centennial at 470, so Hobbs getting 4 more yards in terms of the offense. Predominant run, though, 317 on the ground for the Eagles. Medrano, another big 100-plus night, 16 carries, 155, and a touchdown, 9.4 a pop on that. Seamus Wright also over the century mark, 6 carries, 102, and he's still recovering from the injury at the ankle. His first game back, got a touchdown, which was an 85-plus, so good scene there for the Hobbs Eagle offense, but 317 rushing yards, definitely some good numbers there.
Man, some great numbers, man, and I believe I'm expecting to see some great numbers tonight, too, as well. I mean, with a team like this, not saying Clovis is just a, low-ground team or any team like that, but again, I see Hobbs improve every game, so I'm hopefully to see some even greater numbers tonight.
So Eagles got 4 out of their 6 touchdowns on the ground in that game, a couple of passing scores as well. Eagles throwing for 157 in the air with Junior Medrano's arm in that one. Braddock Beatty, the big numbers for the Eagles, 6 for 65 in terms of receptions, had 2 touchdowns to lead the squad in the receiving core. Justice French had 5 catches for 57 yards and a TD, and the first catch of the season for Edgar Zubia for 22 and a touchdown. So all those guys are really linking it up. 4 touchdowns score off the receiving core.
Man, and I'm ready to see the passing game tonight, too, as well, man. And those are receivers that you just named, man, are some dependable receivers. So, man, when the ball get into their hands, they're able to do something to make a move, so I'm ready to see that tonight.
Hobbs Eagle defense had their work cut out for against the pass offense of Centennial. They threw for 356 yards. Also got the running back Ramirez 111 yards on the ground. So they got 470 total offense. But again, Centennial's been in the top 5 much of the Max Preps poll throughout the season.
Yeah, man, and so for them to have that game last week, man, like you said, man, it is big, it is huge. And again, I'm ready to see more of it, for the upcoming games coming up. And tonight is the night, man, and it's Friday Night Lights, so let's see what goes down tonight.
Defensively, Adrian Moore led the squad for the Eagles with 15 tackles, 2 for a loss. Also, Robert Garcia doing some great numbers, 14 tackles for the Eagles. And Jeremiah Mackey with 12 himself, 3 for a loss. Also had 2.5 sacks. I mean, he was getting through with the penetration and put some guys down in the backfield. Eagles as a team had 8 tackles for loss in that game and those 5 sacks. So, again, we saw some aggressiveness coming off the defense.
We did, and especially from all the other previous game, man, I didn't see the defense improve, man, for each and every game. So, last week's game, man, they improved, man. Like you said, man, the stats and the results show itself. So, I'm ready to see some great things from them tonight.
Defensive end Amron Wheeler, 1.5 sacks himself, and also the team had 4 pass deflections in the game against Centennial, who still managed at 356, but some decent numbers from some of the Hobbs Eagle defenders. So that's where it was last week for the Eagles, beating Centennial again 45-33. Moved the Eagles up to number 4 in the coaches poll and number 4 in the Max Prep, hopefully by the end of this week as the other games come in. Clovis got their first win in district last week, knocking off Oregon Mountain 30-23, despite being down 13-0 in the first quarter. Their big quarter for Clovis was the third, where they outscored Oregon Mountain 16-0, and we're up 22-20 heading into the fourth. So that third quarter was big for them. Their number 1 guy offensively is the quarterback Javier Jimenez, 3 rushing touchdowns in that ball game. Eagles been worried about him all week to get ready to put him down to the turf. So that is going to be the target, is their quarterback and his legs.
Man, he sounds like a skillful player, man. So the defense got to come out here ready tonight, man, be able to break down, watch him, and make sure to not allow one person to be able to beat them the whole game. But I believe they got it, man. I believe it's going to be a wonderful game, so I'm ready to see it all.
Jimenez had 3 rushing touchdowns. 2 of those were for 50-plus. So he definitely can get outside and get up the field very quickly as a quarterback. But it's kind of a neat little contrast because our quarterback right now leads in the rushing game for the Hobbs Eagles. He's over 900 yards rushing at this point at 9-10. averaging 130 yards a game, 9.4 a carry, has a leader in terms of rushing touchdowns with 9. So nice to see some two quarterbacks that can move around the field a little bit.
Man, I love to see a game like that, man, when both quarterbacks on both sides of the team can be able to run, be skillful, and not just a thrown quarterback. And again, like Madrano, man, it shows, man. Madrano, he puts the team on the shoulders and he run that ball and he get to it, and that's what I love to see by him. So I'm ready to see a great game by both quarterbacks.
That's going to tell me, though, that the passing game is going to have to be somewhere out there for Clovis, because you can't just have one man faking a handoff and going around the ends. I mean, they're going to have to do something a little bit more multidimensional to stay even competitive with Hobbs in this one.
Yeah, you're going to have to, man. One player can't do it all. And so, man, a player going to have to be able to do some passing and be able to give it to his players. And if not, man, it's going to be a hard game for him tonight.
Taking a look at some of the stats this season, we already mentioned the great job for Junior Madrano. He is the leader in terms of rushing. We got an emergency blast going on the radio system here, or the PA, I should say, as they get some hype for the Clovis Wildcats. So 910 rushing yards we mentioned for Madrano, leading the team in the rushing game. Good thing about him in the offense too, Sovereign, is that he can read the defense and make decisions. He might sometimes option the ball off on the pitch. He can go on the run and throw the football too. So there's a lot of good dimensions there as a quarterback for the Eagles. So that's definitely going to give Clovis some fits. Also, you got a couple of backs that have really been dominant too. DeMarcus Hill, he has 575 yards rushing, 5 rushing touchdowns, averaging 7.2 a pop. And he's been stepping up big, especially when Seamus Wright was out for so many games. Wright came in last week, got some good numbers, an 85-yard rushing touchdown, 344 yards for him. He's averaging 14.3 a pop, 114 yards a game, has 4 touchdowns himself, 3 games of 100-plus on the ground, too. And still dealing with that ankle. Hopefully he can continue the last 3 games of the regular season. Even Jesse Nelson just shy of 200 yards at 183. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. So you got a lot of guys that can run the football. Madrano, Hill, Wright, and Nelson.
Yes, man. Coach got 3 great players in the backfield, man. He can use either one of them, and that's the great thing. And, man, again, like Seamus, man, with a little ankle, man, hopefully to see that he's recovering. In this game, we can see that his ankle is recovering. And DeMarcus Hill always been a step-up player, man, to always step up to the plate and get the job done. And with Nelson, man, he came in and improved, man. Got off the sideline, and came in and did his thing, and that's what you love to see by a player. So, again, man, 3 great rushing backs.
Eagles averaging 301 yards a game in the running department, so 2,112 yards in terms of rushing offense. Hobbs has 1,207 yards passing. That's about 172 a game. They've got a lot of good people to go to as well. 16 touchdowns in the air, only 5 INTs. Braddock Beatty, 29 catches, 405 yards, and 7 touchdowns to lead the receiving corps. Justice French has the same amount of catches, a little bit less yards at 355, 4 touchdowns. And Josh Ortiz, 21 catches for 262 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there's 13 TDs out of the 16 of passing touchdowns for those 3 receivers.
Man, I'm ready to see a lot of the passing game. You know, I love the passing game. So when I see the team doing, throwing a little to the passing game, man, I love it, man. It gets me hyped up. But I'm ready to see a little bit of both. But more of the passing game, because they do have some receivers out there that can make plays happen. And that's what I love about them.
Hobbs Eagle defense this season has a nice little battle going on in the linebacking core. 2 linebackers lead the team in tackles. Gavin McPherson with 91, Aiden Gloom with 91. Both those guys averaging 13 tackles a game. And Gavin McPherson's also had 2 fumble recoveries. So nice to see those guys combining for 182 tackles. 2 big-time linebackers for the Eagles.
Man, and that's how you do it, man. And them 3 guys right there, man, they've been stepping up to the plate, man, since the first game of the season. And that's what you got to love about them, man. So them keeping that consistency all the way throughout the season, man, and even now here, man, I'm ready to see it more tonight.
I think one of the most exciting defensive stats for the Eagles is defensive lineman Jeremiah Mackey. He doesn't lead the team in tackles with 72, but averages 10 a game, but has 17 tackles for loss on this team, which is unbelievable.
Yes, man, it is unbelievable. And that's what you come out here to see, man, every game, and that's what you want to see out here tonight, too, as well. So, hey, Ty, man, it's going to be wonderful tonight. 2
defensive backs doing some good numbers on tackles. Adrian Mora, 61, has an interception, and Robert Garcia with 60 tackles, 1 interception as well. Getting ready for the national anthem here in Clovis. We'll take a break as your Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Wildcats. You're listening live to the Hobbs Eagle Network. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Back live here in Clovis, Eric Roanhouse Field, the legendary football coach from the Clovis Wildcats, as he retired back in 2016, and one of the top coaches in the state in terms of championships, with 13 total for the Clovis Wildcats before he did retire. Their coach now, the second season for this Clovis Wildcats team, and trying to get things back on track for them. Stan Hodges right now 2-5 with the Wildcats overall, 1-2 in district after that win against Oregon Mountain last week. Of course, your Hobbs Eagles come in with the 5-2 record, 2-1 in district. You kind of scratch your head a little bit about the Max Preps poll, though. They still have Hobbs at number 6 behind Centennial, the team that they beat last week. They have the same record now, 5-2, but a better strength of schedule at 7.4 compared to 4.4. So you kind of wonder. I think the adjustment will be made this week after the beating them last week, and then hopefully win tonight against Clovis. But the coaches poll, Hobbs shot up to number 4, and those top 4 spots get you a home bye, or at least a bye for the first week of the playoffs. So that is the goal right now. I think it's Hobbs and La Cueva kind of battling for that number 4 spot, though.
Yes, man, and hopefully whoever behind it, man, get it switched and get it changed ASAP and immediately. But yes, sir, man, it is very serious. It is very big, and this will help him most definitely, man, here coming to playoffs and everything like that. So hopefully that can get changed, but I believe, man, this is going to change this week, and I believe this game right here, moving on forward, man, is going to have no choice but to make it change. And
good thing about the polls and everything else, the Hobbs Eagles have a strength of schedule 7.4. La Cueva is at 3.7, so Eagles have an advantage there. La Cueva does not have a real tough end of their district schedule. 2 of the 3 teams are near the bottom, so that might work to the Eagles' advantage. Hobbs already playing their toughest teams, Las Cruces and Centennial, went 1-1 against those squads. So, still, you got to play the games. Hobbs has a very tough game to finish at home against Carlsbad, who's still ahead of them in the district standings, although they played one more game than the Eagles. But Carlsbad has had some kind of roller coaster rides the last couple of weeks. So, again, they'll have a lot of motivation because they want to make the playoffs as well.
Yes, man. So, I mean, it's going to be a fight tonight, man, and that's all I hear. And moving on forward is going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight all the way through. And Eagles got to come with that Eagle power and that Eagle fight. And once they come with that, and when they come with that, it's going to be all she wrote, and I believe it's going to be good.
Boy, last year the Eagles completely demolishing Clovis, 63-8 the final. They were up 37-0 in the first quarter, 44-0 at the half, and then they scored 19-0 in the second half to get the victory. Really a lot of trouble for Clovis in that ball game. They finished the season at 0-10, so no wins under their belt, and Hobbs Eagles definitely took advantage of that. Medrano did get a little bit of time. He wasn't the starter, of course. He was 2 for 3 for 33 yards, so he didn't get a lot of opportunities to throw. 5 players with touchdowns. Junior Medrano actually ran the football in that game. 8 carries for 138 yards, so triple digits there, 2 touchdowns, so got to run it. Seamus Wright, who was a sophomore last year, had 10 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. DeMarcus Hill saw a couple of carries. Josh Ortiz that carried the football once, and 8 receivers had catches in that game. Justice French being one of them, 2 for 36 yards and a touchdown. Seamus came out of the backfield, 3 catches for 20, and Josh Ortiz a catch for 20 yards and a touchdown. So some names returning from last year's team with that 63-8 victory. 9 tackles for loss in that game for the Hobbs Eagle defense, 3 sacks. Aiden Glum, our linebacker this year, had 9 tackles to lead the squad. Javen Hernandez recovered a fumble, had 4 tackles, and also Mike Meredith, too, with 3 tackles himself. So some guys returning from last year, maybe not the top of the leaderboard, but they definitely had some experience against this Clovis squad.
And it seems like, man, the passing game was on and popping, man, when they played them last time. So I believe they're going to do a little bit more of that tonight. And I'm ready to see, man, and we're going to get started, and it's game time.
Hobbs going to wear the white uniforms, visitors unis, and the black pants, black helmets, black numbers. And I got the Clovis Wildcats with the purple tops and the black pants and purple helmets. They will be kicking off. Of course, Justice French been doing some great jobs on kickoff returns this season. One of the guys that have been returning quite a bit for the Hobbs Eagles. He's got 11 returns for 265 yards, a 24-yard average on the returns for the Eagles on kickoffs.
Wow, man, that's great. That is awesome right there, man. Very great skill player.
Of course, we'll talk about your game against the Wildcats back in 1999. Sovereign Anthony, number 80 receiver for the Eagles. And not the best result of that game, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Don't want to hex anybody at this point. As we get ready for the kickoff, as it will be, the Hobbs Eagles are kicking off. Squib kick takes a roll at the 30, picked up on the near sideline, and that's going to be about a half-a-yard return. Great read and great wrap-up as the Hobbs there to swallow him up quickly. Nice tackle around the shoulder pads there. Adrian Mora taking down Andrew Finstermaker right in front of the Hobbs bench on this near left sideline. So that will be Clovis football to get it going here. It looks like they're going to mark it about the 30.5-yard line for the first possession for the Wildcats. And again, they're going to have to start getting a little bit more multi-dimensional offensively. Quarterback taking the run every time is not going to help out the Clovis cause, I don't think.
Hey, that's right, man. And the things that we heard about him, man, he does pretty great, man. He does good, man. And there's somebody that they got to have their eye on. And so hopefully defense come out here with their head on and make some plays out here tonight.
Hobbs will have 4 on the front line, leave a gap up the middle, and they're going to fill that up with a linebacker. They'll have 3 men off to the right side of the line behind it a bit. Shotgun going back to pass on the first play. Jimenez, he hesitates, pump fake, seam route down the middle. It's caught into Hobbs territory, 30, 25, and then slung down at the 24-yard line. So they start passing just like we mentioned. They might get a little bit more looks there. Trying to see the number. They got some weird outlining of their numbers here. Very tough to read. It did start to 30. 46 yards on the play. Trying to see that number. It's kind of hard to read that. So we'll give them the 46. They're 1 for 1 in the passing game to start it off. And that's going to be a first down already for the Wildcats. They'll send 2 to the left behind the line. Shotgun. Jimenez going to hand it off the right side of the line and crashing through. Going to push the pile for a few. Boy, it's going to be tough to see these numbers here with the white outlines. That's going to be a couple of yard gain. Bear with us on these numbers. I think that was J.D. and Tapia. They're going to give him, looks like 4 yards on the play. Supposed to have these numbers better outlined by the rule book, but you can definitely not tell. Shotgun, Jimenez handoff on the right end, and try to cut it back up across the 10-yard line down to the 8. There might have been a fumble towards the end of play. The pile shifted for just a second. Hobbs Eagles down back at the 15-yard line. Needed to get to about the 14. And they're going to give them, looks like 9 on the play. Timeout called here, official timeout. As down the Eagle at the 15-yard line.
And what you don't want to do as a defensive team, man, you don't want to let them get too close to the end zone. And, man, not coming out here, man, thinking this team is easy, man. You want to be able to come out here and play, and it's game time.
We'll take a quick break. We have an injured Eagle. 10:40 left, first quarter, 0-0. We'll be back in 1 minute live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Clear.
Welcome back to Clovis. The injured player, Aiden Glum, linebacker. Bad news for the Hobbs Eagles, being helped off the field. It's Clovis football, first and goal from the Eagle 9-yard line. They've had 2 carries and some first down pickups. First and goal now. Jimenez waits for the shotgun. Fake delay, tucks and goes up the middle. Trying to hit outside now. Gets spun around about the 8-yard line. Got about a yard, but just on the forward progress as he is brought down by Leo Jaquez, the DB for the Eagles.
And you know what, man? It seems like, man, they love to run the little option play, too, man, on the Clovis side. And so, man, if the defense can be able to stop that and handle that, because you said, man, the quarterback is an eye person that they will have to keep their eye on.
They'll put a slot left, split formation backfield, bring him out in motion, give the ball to the tailback. He's going to head right of the line and meets a big pile for the Eagles and getting a big wrap-up down low to get teammate help, Mike Meredith. Not sure if they're going to give him much on that play. Maybe a yard forward progress on that one. That is Ochoa. They're going to actually give him about 2 on that. That's his first carry for 2 yards. So a 46-yard pass play got this series going. They've had 4 carries since then for 16. A couple of first downs for the Wildcats, now at the Eagles' 6-yard line. Here in the first quarter, 9:30 remaining, still scoreless. Clovis' first possession of the ball game. Got 2 in the backfield and a slot left going in motion to the right side. Jimenez underneath the center. He's going to spin out, wants to throw, rolling to the 10, tucks and goes towards the pylon. Gets shoved out of bounds, I believe, at the 1-yard line, far right sideline. And Jimenez bumped out by about 3 defenders that time. Let's see where they're going to mark the football. Did get a chance to dive towards the pylon as looked like he got ran out, but it looked like the official ran the clock on that. I'm not sure why he would have done that, but that'll be a 3-yard pickup for Jimenez. 2 carries for 4 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd down and goal, make it 4th down and goal from the 1. Slot left, split formation backfield. A lot of people moving around, man in motion. Give it to the tailback. We got legal motion in the backfield. Flags are flying as the ball was handed off. 2 guys moving the man in motion, and the tailback started to step forward. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty for the Wildcats, the first of the ball game.
Yes, man, they seem a little lost out there, man. I don't know if the ref is going to either call the flag or not, but I guess the play is called.
Back it up to the 6-yard line. Still a 4th down at goal. Eagle defense got to be staunch on this one to stop the first potential score of the game. 4 on the front line for the Eagles. Clovis in their huddle now. Important start for Coach Hodges and the Wildcats, who were 0-10 last year. They'll send receiver left, 2 to the right side. Jimenez in the backfield with a slot left. Bring a receiver in motion right to left. Fake the handoff. Score the other way to Jimenez around the right end. He tiptoes into the end zone. That will be a score from 6 yards out. Eagles got caught inside that time, and a score for Jimenez. That's his 3rd carry for 10 yards, and the Wildcats on the scoreboard first. Last week, they were down 14-0 in the first quarter to Oregon Mountain before they came back to win that one.
And you said earlier, man, that's a person that they're going to have to keep their eye on, and that person is there that scored just a while ago. So, I mean, hey, that's going to have to be a person they're going to have to keep their eye on, seriously.
Clovis showing the swinging gate formation. Do not like to kick PATs. So they got, looks like 8 guys on the left side of the line. Bring a man in motion now into the backfield. High snap to Jimenez. He'll roll right. He wants to throw on his back foot. Throws to the goal line. Catch is made for the 2-point conversion. And that'll be in the hands of Jaden Tapia. Tapia for the 2-point conversion. So Clovis up quickly here with 8:36 left first quarter. 8-0 over the Eagles. We'll take a 60-second break and be back on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Good day.
Clovis Wildcats kicking off after their touchdown. It's Josiah Trujillo caught at the 28 for the Eagles. At the starburst coming up the left hash, 25, 30, 35, 37, 38-yard line, maybe the 39, depending on the mark there. And the return man for Hobbs on that one was Seamus Wright. Glad to see him back in full force, it appears, with that green mouthpiece of his. As the Eagles gave up the first score, a 6-yard touchdown run for the quarterback Jimenez, 2-point conversion on a pass play after that to Tapia. And now the Eagles' first possession of the game at the 39 on the left hash. Clovis have put 4 in the front box defensively. Hobbs sends 2 receivers right, 2 to the left side, trailing 8-0 here in the first. 8:29 remaining. Shotgun for Medrano. Puts a man in motion left to right. Give the ball around the right end. Here comes Wright to spread it out to the right side, 40, and diving forward to the 42-yard line. That's going to be a 3-yard pickup for Sheamus.
And it seems like, man, he's running with force, man. It seems like a little iffy with his ankle out there, but, man, it was a great run by him. And, man, I'm ready to see what the offense can pull forward and move forward with tonight.
Give him 3, 2nd down and 7 now from the 42-yard line. Receiver left, 2 to the right side, short to the Eagles' right. Shotgun, Jimenez, or correction, that's our quarterback, Medrano over to the right side. Screen, caught by Beatty as he gets spun around, coming up the near sideline out across the 45 to the 46. That's going to be a shy by about 1 yard. He needed to get 7 and got 6 instead. So Beatty's first catch. Eagles 1 for 1 in the passing game.
And you know what? I'm expecting to see some great things out of Beatty tonight.
3rd down and 1 for the 48. Twins left and right. Delay handoff up the middle. Right. Little jitter move up the gut to the 50 into Clovis territory down to the 44-yard line. That's going to be a 5-yarder for Sheamus. Got 2 carries for 8 total. First down for the Eagles.
And, you know, sometimes you just got to get used to the feel of the game, and before you know it, man, you start pulling that fire out and start running up the field.
Hurry up offense. Twins left and right. Medrano back in shotgun, brings Beatty in motion right to left to make it trips left side. 2-step drop into the shot. Tuck and go around the right end, 45-40. Medrano to the 35-30 up the near sideline, 25, and run out of bounds there. That's going to be at least 20, 20 yards for Medrano. Big run for him towards the Hobbs Eagle bench right side.
And it seems like they cannot pull him down, man. That's the one thing you got to love about Medrano, man. He just not just a quarterback, but he also is a muscle built where, man, he just can pull people with him, and so that's what you love to see.
Eagles already have 2 first downs on this series. Now at the Clovis 25, quickly want to re-answer on the scoreboard here with a pair of receivers left and right now at the 25 right hash. Wright's going to move in motion to left. Pass to the right side, coming back to catch the football is Justice French, cuts inside of the 20, puts his head down and pulls it forward for a couple more. Out close to the 15. And bring up a 2nd down and 1. They give Justice 9 on that catch.
It seems like he didn't know where to go there for a bit, but he still got up the field.
Eagles are 2 for 2 in the passing game for 15 yards. Ball at the 16, 2nd down and 1. Back to pass, Medrano. Pump fake, he's going to tuck and go up the middle to the 15 and buries it down low to the 12 for the first down. He's going to get 5 on that one. Always has a good field presence out there and seeing what's open, what isn't. Saw a little bit of a gap up the middle that time.
And that's what you got to love about him, man. When he knows nobody's open right there, he's going to take it up the field.
First down for the Eagles. 3rd first down in the series here. Trailing 8-0. They'll have it at the 11-yard line. Shotgun Medrano going to roll left. No, he draws at the last minute. Handoff to right. Gets pulled down for a second. It spins to the left side. 20-15. Far left sideline. 10-5. Touchdown right. He stripped away from the defender and scores the 11-yard run for the touchdown as he was running to the near side. Got flipped around and went back to the left. Misdirection on that one. 11 yards for the score.
Great way to read the field and be able to get to the end zone, man. Great touchdown by Sheamus Wright.
Eagles' big decision here to go ahead and get the 2 points or maybe just the extra. Nope, Beatty's going to line up for the kick. It is right now 8-6. Clovis did convert on their 2-point conversion as they're ready for the PAT. High snap, but it's put down in time. The kick is up, and the kick gets inside the right upright. 6:22 left here in the first. 8-7, Clovis by 1. Hobbs Eagle kickoff in 30 seconds live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Eight 8-7 ball game here in Clovis. The Wildcats lead by 1. They scored first as the quarterback Jimenez a 6-yard run for a touchdown, 2-point conversion on a pass to Tampia. Eagles respond with the 11-yard run for Wright, little misdirection action, and then the kick by Beatty. So a 1-point differential. Would you have gone for 2 early in this game, Sovereign?
Yes, man, I would have went for 2, man. I believe it would have been easy to score for him, but you know what? You always want to move smart, so by kicking a field goal is great.
Ready for the kickoff for the Eagles. And that'll be Braddock Beatty from the 40. Taking his time here, make sure both sides are lined up and ready to go. And here comes the kick. It's going to be a boomer, end over end. Comes down at the 11. It's caught right up the middle, 15, 20, 25, and then quickly goes down at the 26-yard line. As getting the return for Clovis, Matthew Ochoa, and drilled hard after about a 1 or 2 yard return. Hobbs Eagles really reading it quickly. That was Caleb Blackman. And that'll be Clovis football at the 26-yard line. They lead 8-7.
And I believe, man, the defense is ready to go now, man. You know, you got the first time coming out here on the field, so it's time now, and I bet they got their head on the shoulders, and so it's ready.
Got to remember, they start off with that big pass for 46 yards, open up the ball game, kind of caught the Eagles second-guessing. Clovis now going to send 2 receivers right, 1 to the left side. And they'll line up 2 in the backfield. Going to shotgun is Jimenez. He has a tailback right behind him. Claps his hands, fakes the handoff, 3-step drop, rolling left, steps up to the 25 and runs it. 30, 35 up the middle, gets spun around, gets a first down. Close to about 10.5 on that one, make it 11 for the quarterback. That'll be his 4th carry for 21 yards. 3rd first down for the Wildcats, first in this series, now at the 32-yard line.
Man, that is a guy they're going to have to keep their eyes on, because that guy right there, man, he's skillful out there on the field and can get up the field and make some plays, so you got to keep your eye on him.
And we knew both quarterbacks could run the football. Hobbs, of course, 910 yards this season for Medrano, and he's added 25 tonight on top of that. They'll send those 2 guys in that slot position right and a receiver right. Shotgun Jimenez rolling right. Stops and throws back from the 25. The out route over his receiver's head at the 49 of the Wildcats. Sails at the Wildcat bench. Incomplete. Clovis now 2 for 3 in the passing game. And receiver barely got his head spun around before that thing was about 5 feet above him. And going towards the track over there in front of the home stadium seating. So incomplete on that one. 5:39 left first quarter. 8-7 Clovis. Eagles have a road trip next week, Thursday, into Las Cruces to take on Oregon Mountain and finish up the season at home at Carlsbad on Halloween night. Twins left, receiver right for the Wildcats at the 36. Quarterback and tailback in the backfield. Shotgun, the receiver left in motion now to the right side. Give the handoff on the angle right to the 40. And that's about all they're going to get on that one. That was Ochoa, about 3.5 yards. That'll be his 2nd carry for 5 total. And that'll be at the 41 of the Wildcats on the right hash. They got a lot of guys in that backfield doing the interchanging parts there. Kind of tough to see where the ball is going to come to. So defense has really got to be staunch in holding their position. 4 in the front line for the Hobbs Eagle defense. Receivers to the right and to the left. Shotgun to Jimenez. Receiver in motion. Gets a fake up the middle. Jimenez with the run. 40, 45 on the keeper. 50 breaks the tackle. 45 down to the left hash. There's a late flag, though. That would be a first down pickup unless it comes back. About 17, 18 yards for Jimenez. A very late flag as he's being wrapped up. Kind of wondering, unless it was a block in the back, what they got the call on here. No indication from the Whitecap yet. Oh, looks like this one referee putting his hand up to his face. Don't want to get that call here. That'll be a tack on. If it's a personal foul, it'll be 15 yards. Nope, it's against Clovis. I guess they had Eagle by the back of the jersey there as the runner was being taken down, Jimenez. So that'll be a, make sure this is a 10-yard mark-off here. Yep, 10-yard mark-off. That's the 2nd penalty for the Wildcats. A hold there late in the run for Jimenez. That will be shy of the first down by about 1 yard. So about an 8-yard pickup for Jimenez and knock it back 10 because, or 18-yard pickup originally, mark it back 10 for the holding penalty. Things a 3rd down and 1 from the 46 of the Wildcats. Should be restarting the clock here with 4:57, but they keep it solid on the scoreboard. Still haven't started the clock yet at the 46. Waiting for the shotgun to Jimenez. Receivers 2 left, 1 right. Delay handoff coming on the right side. Ochoa tries to spin. He's getting yanked down from behind. And boy, he had some claws in his waist that time by Caleb Blackman for the Eagles. But still a positive pickup. He only needed 1 there, and he got about 3 forward progress for Jimenez to move the chains.
And you know what? I'm seeing from Clovis, man, I'm seeing that they do a little bit of the run game, but they also do a little bit of the passing game. So it's going to give a run for the money for the defensive ends and also for the safeties and corners. So, man, it just got to stay focused.
Middle of the field, close to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Lead 8-7, 4:21 left. Twins right and left. Jimenez by himself, lone man in the backfield. 4-step drop back to the 40, rolls right, curl route. Man, receiver goes down on his knee to make the catch at the 45. It'll be a short one. So about a 6-yard pickup on that right side of the field. And it looked like that was Cordova. And looks like they give him 6 on that play for Cordova.
Wow. I didn't know whether that was a, incomplete play or interception.
3 for 4 in the passing game for the Wildcats. Brings up a 2nd down and 4 from the Eagle 46. Receivers 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Shotgun for Jimenez in the open backfield. Brings a man in motion right to left. Give him the football on the left side. Little shimmy. And the Eagles going to read that quickly. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss. As getting dropped to the turf pretty hard. They're first for the Eagles to wrap up. Adrian Mora. And nothing going on that one. That was Ethan Gutierrez, who's going to lose a couple of yards. So -2 for Gutierrez. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 at the 43, or make it the 47-yard line of the Eagles. Clovis football, Twins right, receiver left. Shotgun for Jimenez. He's going to quickly roll right to the 45. He's still backpedaling. Couple more yards back. Gets a chase back at the 40. He's going to take the sack at the 39. Big loss on the play. And getting in there to do the damage for the Eagles, Samuel Zimbardi, the linebacker.
Man, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to put big pressure on the quarterback where the quarterback don't have nothing to do but get sacked. So that right there is nice right there. I love to see that by the defense.
Zimbardi with a -10 on that sack for the Wildcats, as it'll be a 2:25 and ticking. Be about 4th and 18. Back of the 40, here comes the first punt of the game for the Wildcats. This is Zinger, too. Is going to take a bounce at the 20, take a Clovis roll up that far right sideline. Clovis going to tap it dead about the 4. Eagles got the heck away from it because that was a low one. Spiral to start, then it hit the ground wickedly and took a roll. So Hobbs will have it at their own 5-yard line after the first punt of the game for the Wildcats. So Eagles held up on those and hopefully can take a lead as they trail 8-7. The Eagles do. 2:11 left first quarter.
And, man, so the offense get another chance to come out here, man, prove themselves, make another play, and it being 8-7, I believe, man, just the first dibs of the game. So I believe, man, this game can continue forward, and we're going to see some great things tonight by Hobbs.
Eagles only had 7 plays to score on their first drive. They were 2 for 2 in the passing game for 15 and had 5 carries for 44 yards. Eagle football at their own 5-yard line, kind of a tight space. Split formation backfield in the middle of them is Medrano. Delay, he's going to give it up the middle, coming across the 10, 15, 20, 25 to the far left hash, down to the 30. A 25-yard pickup for the Eagles. Beautiful run coming down the middle and cutting left was DeMarcus Hill.
Man, you got to give it up to DeMarcus Hill, man. He can just come out of nowhere and just run up the field. You won't even know it. So that's what you got to love about him. Great player.
24, they're going to give Hill on that one. His first carry of the ball game, moved the chains the 4th time. They're at the 29. Shotgun. They're going to hand it around the right end. Right is going to extend out to the 30, near side, 35, puts his head down and rams through one more, but a late flag on the play. That would have been close to a first down, about 9.5 yards, as he got it spearheaded through. Right to see where this call was. It got Clovis on that one before the hold on the end of a tackle play there, but hold on the Eagles now, so tit for tat. Calls the same for against Hobbs that time. That will be a 10-yarder. So it goes to a -1 after the 9-yard pickup, unfortunately, for Seamus Wright. Of course, Wright, prior to that, had the first touchdown for the Eagles, the 11-yard score. 1:46 left here in the first. It's 8-7 Clovis. First penalty of the game for the Eagles for 10, and that'll back it up to the 24-yard line. The Eagles will send receiver far left in front of the Clovis bench to the short right side in front of the Eagle bench. Split formation backfield, shotgun to Medrano. Give the ball around the left end. That's right again. Extend out left to the 25. It gets upended, up in the air that time, down to the 30-yard line. That might have been the original line of scrimmage. So it looks like they give him 4 on that one for Wright, his 4th carry for 23 at the 30. 2nd down and 10. Shotgun to Medrano, 3-step drop. He'll throw the out route, a high one. He goes over the fingertips, trying to get up in the air to pull it down. Near right was DeMarcus Hill, trying to get his head back on the swivel, and he had a cornerback right in his back that time, Peyton Kirby, but tried to get up there, just couldn't get that head turnaround enough to pull that thing down. Incomplete, first incompletion of the game for the Eagles, by the way. So bringing up a 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at the 29-yard line of their own. Shotgun, Medrano going to roll right. He has to, the ball stripped out of his hand as he tried to extend on the pass. It's loose as it rolls out near sideline. They're going to call that a pass incomplete or a fumble. Looks like the head linesman on the near sideline, the ref, calls that incomplete. They said Medrano must have followed through on that one, luckily. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down and 9 from the 29. Point of the football close to the 30. So incomplete on the play there. Dodging a fumble on that play.
And as a coach, Ty, would you go for it or would you punt?
Oh, you got to punt on this one. It's only a 1-point ball game first quarter. Trips left, receivers to the right side. But it doesn't look like they're in a punt formation. Yep, they are going to punt it. There goes Medrano. A high one, and Clovis waving their guys off as that ball is going to take an Eagle roll at the 35, just shy of the 35 at the 36. Is touchdown by Justice French. And pretty good field position here for Clovis on their next series. They've had 2 so far. But defense got to step it up, make sure Clovis does not add to their 1-point lead. Should mention Medrano averaging 45 yards a punt this season. He definitely can get the boot into it, get some good coverage by his teammates.
And that's the one thing you can say about Medrano, man. He's just not a quarterback, man. Also can punt the ball. So it's good to be able to have those skilled players that play all around the field. So love to see that by him.
Both teams have punted once so far in this game. Hobbs trailing 8-7 with 44 seconds left here in the first. Last time that this Clovis team beat the Eagles was back in the COVID year, 2020. That was a March ball game. Hobbs has won the last 4 contests up till this one. At the 36, boy, a bunch of guys moving from left to right to line up on the right side. Shotgun to Jimenez, angle right on the handoff. Getting up close to the 40, breaking a tackle, out to the far side, down to the 43, and finally a pileup for the Eagles to stop the extension. Getting in there with the head down, Javen Hernandez on the safety core. That was a nice job to stop at the last second there for the Eagles in the pileup. Double checking who that was on the back there for Clovis. Might have been John Royal. That's going to be an 8-yard pickup for Royal. Brings up a 2nd down and 2 now from the 43 of the Wildcats. Down to 5 seconds. We'll see if they get a snap before the quarter ends. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. They'll hold on it, and we go to the end of the first. An 8-7 ball game here in Clovis as your Hobbs Eagles trail by 1. We're ready for second quarter action in 1 minute, live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Clovis as the Hobbs Eagles trail the Wildcats 8-7 to start the second quarter. Quickly on the ball, the Wildcats facing a 2nd down and 2 as they shift 2 men from the right line to the left. 2 receivers left as well for the Wildcats. Shotgun to Jimenez, hander off to the left end, and going strong is Royal again, going down to the 40, 45, 50 into Hobbs territory. He'll get the first down, make it 9 for Royal on back-to-back runs. Second carry for 17. And Royal now makes the 5th first down for the Wildcats, again in Hobbs Eagle territory with a 1-point lead.
And he seems like he got some speed on him. So, man, that's also another play you got to watch out for too as well. And, man, those defensive end and those outside linebackers, man, have to stop plays like that.
Clovis so far this season in the district has given up 120 points and only scored 64. Hobbs Eagles have scored 105 and given up 111. So definitely some offensive advantage for the Eagles at this point. Right now trail by 1. They'll shift from left to right on the line, including a slot back. Give them the ball up the gut, breaking a tackle, 50, 45, spin move, down to the 40, and Royal keeps chugging forward. Needed to get to the 39. I think he just exactly got what he needed. A 10-yard pickup for Royal. 3 carries for 27. Back to back to back for the purple and white. That will be the 6th first down for the Wildcats. Now at the 39 of the Eagles. Left hash. Been an arch rival game over the years. The Eagles play in the same district of Clovis, and they shifted to a northern district, and then back here to the southern district with Las Cruces Schools and us, and Carlsbad and Alamogordo. But looks like Clovis wants to try to get a back-to-back win in district.
Yes, they definitely came out here to play tonight, so hopefully Hobbs can give that back to him.
1st and 10 from the 39 of the Eagles. They have a receiver going to motion left to right. Jimenez going to fake the handoff, tuck it himself up the middle, 40, and then he brought down quickly, possibly a 3-yard pickup if he's lucky on that one. Eagles read that quick. They got 2 guys in down low to put him down. Samuel Zabardi, the linebacker, was the first, and also giving some help on that, Caleb Blackman, the linebacker. Of course, we mentioned earlier Mr. Aiden Glum went down with an injury early in the first quarter. I don't think he's been out there since then. He was helped off the field, which is horrible for the Eagles. He's a team leader, 91 tackles this season, at the top of the leaderboard for the defense. That was a 3-yard pickup for Jimenez. 2nd down and 7 now from the 35, or make it the 36-yard line. Give the ball to the fullback on the I formation. He dives across to the 35. Got about a yard on that one. As getting the carry that time for the Wildcats was Matthew Ochoa, so a 1-yard pickup. And for the Hobbs Eagles, double check who that was up front. I believe coming through from the linebacking core there was Devin Ruiz after a 1-yard pickup. 3rd down and a long, maybe 5.5. So what we're looking at for the Wildcats, right at the 35 near the right hash. 9:20 left, 2nd quarter. Clovis up by 1, 8-7. Got the offset tailback, shotgun for Jimenez with 3 receivers left. Back to pass, 4-step drop, steps up in the pocket, tucks and goes, 35, and got a good ankle sweep from behind for the Eagles, stumbling ahead for 3 yards, and getting his ankles away from him that time for the Hobbs Eagles, doing a great job of sweeping. Jeremiah Mackey.
Man, Jeremiah Mackey, man, he know how to break down, man, and get those tackles, so you got to give it up to him, man. Great line player.
3-yard pickup for Jimenez. He has got 9 carries so far. He was dropped for a -10, sacked earlier. His long has been 11 at this point. But they're facing a 4th down and 4 now from the 33.5-yard line of the Eagles, up by 1. Twins right, receiver left, 2 to the left side. And Jimenez by himself in the backfield. Brings a man in motion right to left. That's Tapia. Gets the handoff from the left end. 35, 30, 25. Breaks the tackle, 20. Ran out of bounds to the 15, but a late flag. So he went from the 33 down to the 15, an 18-yard pickup, but a late flag on the play. Boy, we've had a lot of those so far in this game. Both teams have picked up either a legal block or holding on the end of a play, completely knocking back a big gain for both teams because of that. And there is a hold. So that'll be a net +8 after a -10 mark-off there. And Tapia is definitely running the football well, just like Royal has. That time just a little end-around look. So we'll be a +8, but -10 because of the holding. Marked off the 18 it would have been without the hold. So it's going to be a repeat down, a 4th down about 3 yards at the 32-yard line. They got to get to looks like the 29. Apologize, really hard to tell with these chains in front of us in this game. We're on the visitors' booth behind the Hobbs Eagle bench, so you can't really see where the sticks are hitting the field turf. It is 4th and 3, though, from the 31, make it the 32-yard line. Jimenez by himself in the backfield. They had a left lineman for the Eagles jumping off sides. Unfortunately, going to get the penalty. That's Mike Meredith, and that will be enough. 5-yard penalty against the Eagles. And a hard snap count there for Jimenez for the Wildcats.
Man, smart play by him, man. By the defense, it takes focus, man, not to be able to jump. And always keep your eye on the ball. That's what the coach always told me. And to not go off sides, keep your eyes on the ball. And when you keep your eyes on the ball, you know not to go off sides or not, and you wait for that snap, and then you go for the quarterback.
So the penalty for 5 yards, the second one for 15 total for the Eagles. That's the 7th first down. That was a gift for the Wildcats, as they will have it now at the 27 of the Eagles left hash. 8:21 left second quarter. Clovis up by 1, 8-7. Twins left, receiver right. Shotgun for Jimenez, has a tailback with him and a man in motion left to right. Fakes the handoff, goes up the middle, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. He hurdles another player, is down at the 5. It's a 22-yard pickup for Jimenez. Depending on where they're going to mark this. Oh, it's a 21-yarder for Jimenez. Down at the 5-yard line. That's his best carry of the night. And that's another first down for Clovis. They're 8 as they have it in the red zone against the Eagles at the left hash 5-yard line. Got 2 split in the backfield wide. Man in motion left to right. Jimenez going to hand off to the left tailback. He tries to spin near the goal line and maybe not got quite there. There's a bunch of Eagles there to put a stop on him, left angle, or right angle, I should say. Blackman in there for the Eagles. Also had a nice helmet down low for Leo Jaquez. And let's see how much forward momentum they give him on this one. Started at the 5, headed right. And looks like they got him down about the 2, a 3-yard pickup. That was Ochoa. He's got 4 carries now for 9 yards. And a second down and goal now at the 2. Split backfield again. Jimenez underneath the center, brings a man in motion left to right. Spins, gives a handoff right angle again, in for the touchdown. Untouched. And that's going to be a score for the Wildcats. Double checking the number here on this one. That was a Royal, though, at number 4, the fullback. So Royal with his first touchdown. They've had 2 rushing scores, a 6-yarder for Jimenez, the quarterback, and now Royal a 2-yarder. And the score extends to 14-7. They did get a 2-point conversion in their first score. And looks like they're just going to go for the 2, and that's what we were told earlier this week, that they'd love to go for the 2-point conversions. Don't kick hardly at all. No swinging gate on this formation, though. Jimenez spins, handoff right angle again, trying to break across the goal line and let up at the last second. He stood straight up, and the Eagles shut him down quickly, stopping the 2-point conversion to go through. That was Royal again. The man they made the first stop was Javen Hernandez and had some help from behind. But that's an important stop. He keeps it just at a 7-point ball game.
That is right there. And, hey, man, it gives the offense another opportunity to come out here, man, and be able to put that fire in them from what the defense has done and be able to score and get it up the field, and that's what you want to see.
It is 14-7 Clovis, 7-11 left here in the second. Back with more Hobbs Eagle football in 30 seconds. – 14-7 Clovis. After they scored on a 2-yard run for Royal, did not get the 2-point conversion here in the second quarter. Clovis getting ready to kick off to the Eagles. Hobbs scored on their first series, hopefully to even it up here at their second opportunity after the kickoff. Looks like we're ready to go. Here comes the kick from the 40-yard line. End over end is a cannon's blast, caught at the 25 near left. Seamus right, stop and go to the 30, trying to cut to the left hash, and he's getting piled up at the 36, 37-yard line. Big purple wall on top of him now. As the Eagles will get their second possession. See where they're going to mark this at. Looks like they'll give it out to the 32-yard line for the second possession. Eagles in their first possession had 4 carries for Wright, including the 11-yard touchdown, 28 yards on the ground, 25 for Medrano on 2 carries, and a 24-yarder for Hill. First and 10 from the 32. Twins right and left. Shotgun for Medrano. Claps his hands. Fakes the handoff. Two-step drop. Back to the 25. Tuck and go. Medrano on the right end. Gets a block by right. 30, 35. Continues down. 30, 40. And that'll be where he's piled up. Might be shy by about a yard and a half. But got about 8 on the carry. And boy, Seamus right out ahead of him on that right end. Got him a nice extra yards on that.
And that's what you want to do as a running back too as well. Not just run the ball, but also can be a good blocker. And so the block that he had for him, man, was definitely great.
Looks like they'll give him 9 on the play. That's 3 carries now for 34 for Wright. Second down and 1 from the 41 of the Eagles. They trail 14-7 with 6:28 left second quarter. 4 on the front line for the purple squad. Eagles have trips left, receiver right. Medrano back in shotgun. Two-step drop. Stays pocket. No pressure. Now he's going to be floated out to the right. Runs 40, 45, 50. Clovis territory to the 40. Tiptoe and then tripped up in the last second. Slides out of the 38. Going to be about 19. Make it 22 now. As he got tripped up, he fell forward. So 22 for the quarterback, Medrano, his best carry of the night. And now has 56 yards on 4 carries and the 5th first down for the Eagles.
And that's what you want to do as a quarterback. If you can't see nothing open, look for the open field, and that's what he did.
Yep, had a good sideline right in front of the Clovis bench. Big gap over there. Eagles have put 2 receivers left and right now. Back to shotgun as Medrano. Gets a good snap. Fake the handoff. He's going to go up the middle of the field to the 35, 30, 25, angling left, 20, 15, 10, and he's pulled down on the back of the knees at the 9-yard line. And it'll be 28 yards, make it 29 for Medrano, and that's his best run of the night. He's had 3 20-plus runs here in the first half. That'll move it again to number 6 first downs. And once again, I like the hesitation. He kind of waits a second, gets the defense to shift a little bit, and then sees where the openings are up ahead and uses his blockers. They're inside the 10, so that's no more first down. Shotgun to Medrano, steps up pocket. His pass gets deflected as he tries to throw right. He was trying to loft it over to the right, back into the end zone to Beatty, but a man got his hand up in the air and swatted it up a little bit. Stayed as a spiral, though, and sailed to the sideline over near the right pylon, front of the end zone instead of the back. Just couldn't get the extension he wanted on that one. Trying to see who that was with the big glove up in the air that time. Might have been Kelby Williams, their defensive lineman. Incomplete. Eagles are 2 for 5 in the passing game for 15 yards. Shotgun. Medrano hand up the middle. Here goes Wright, taking a few guys around his back. And he gets across the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Looks like they'll mark it at the 3. 6-yard pickup for Wright. That's going to be his 5th carry for 34 yards. And a 3rd down and goal from the 2. Medrano gets a shotgun out of a split formation, fakes or does hand it off the last second to Wright, trying to get to the left goal line and tried to backpedal it in. Don't think he got there. 1-yard pickup for Wright. Clovis is trying to point as they got a fumble recovery, but he was well down, so a 1-yarder for Wright. Hobbs will keep the football, but now they're faced with a 4th down situation here. Definitely got to go for it. Field goal is kind of risky this close to the end zone, and they don't bring in Beatty to take care of that one. He could definitely kick it, but you have to more of an upright kick, which is not easy to do. Underneath the center goes Jimenez, takes a snap. He's going to try to move the pile and gets the tush push up ahead. It looks like a touchdown. Yes, it is. 1-yard score for the quarterback. That is Mr. Medrano's first TD of the ball game on the ground.
Man, great touchdown by Medrano. Medrano, man, is a player, man, and a quarterback that gets up the field, makes it happen, and makes a touchdown.
So we didn't need Beatty to kick the field goal. We got him on a PAT instead here to try to tie it up at 14. Both teams have scored on both of their possessions so far and had consistent movement of the football as well. Take a little bit of time here on the snap. Good snap here. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 4:33 left, second quarter. We're knotted up at 14 here at Clovis as your Hobbs Eagles have tied the ball game. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, on the radio at Cool 95.7. Your Hobbs Eagles have tied it up at 14 here in the second quarter in Clovis after Medrano scoring on a tush push up the middle. 1-yard run. Eagles ready to kick off for the third time in this ball game. And here comes Beatty as he'll go end over end, sailing it back to the goal line, and the feet just barely go by. No, they caught it. He wasn't across the goal line. Picked up at the 10, 15, and knocked out at the 17. Thought his feet might have touched that goal line there, which would have been an automatic touchback. It was muffed a little bit, but still returned, as the return man was Jaden Tapia. So we'll be less than what an automatic touchback would be as they're marking out at the 17. And it'll be Hobbs defense back out on the field. Third series of the ball game for Clovis. Of course, predominant runner so far has been Jimenez. 10 carries so far. He had a 21-yarder. That's his best in the last series. Did score a 6-yard touchdown earlier in the ball game. And a 1st and 10 now from the 17. Eagles put 4 on the front line defensively. 4 linebackers across. They got twins left and right. Shotgun. Jimenez at the fake handoff, tucks it up the middle, 15 to the 20, across the 20, and a big scrum pile now. Continue to push forward. Be about a 5-yard pickup for Jimenez, and starting to get a little bit back to their old ways again. We're seeing Jimenez a lot more rushes now, and that's not going to be what the kind of game plan that's going to work against the Eagles. They understand he's their best runner, but at the same point, you don't see much passing going on now either to try to even it up just a little bit and keep the secondary guessing what's going to happen.
And you're right, Ty. That's their main player. And you know what? The defense can, easily pick up on, okay, this is the guy we need to pick up on and watch out for.
Split formation backfield. Shotgun coming from Jimenez. Going to go with the handoff from the right tailback. He gets met in the backfield to 15. It goes down hard. And throwing him down by the shoulder pads that time for the Eagles was Amron Wheeler, the defensive end.
And man, and the way he threw him down was like, this is nothing, man. And that's a great, wonderful player out there. So, man, him getting in into the line, man, you got to watch out for him.
And that's going to be a 4-yard loss on the play. That was Royal. And Wheeler had 1.5 sacks last week in the win over Centennial. Of course, 45-33, the final in that one. 5 sacks total for the Eagles in that contest, getting some good penetration against one of the best teams in the state. Twins right, no receivers left. Shotgun for Jimenez, does have a tailback behind him. Claps his hands, fakes a handoff, 3-step drop. He'll throw the out route, caught at the 20, near right sideline, 25, 30, up the side, 35, 40, and finally brought down at the 40-yard line. Brought down over the top of the back there by Mora. And Clements is going to get all the way down to the 40, a 29-yard pickup for Clements. So that'll move the chains for the Wildcats. Their 9th first down of the ball game. Bo Clements on his first catch. They'll be having it at the 40-yard line. Right hash. They're now 4 of 5 in the passing game. Ready for shotgun is Jimenez. Has twin receivers left, one right. Fakes the handoff. He's going to throw the out route, but overthrows his receiver to the Hobbs Eagles sideline near right. As trying to get outside for Clovis was Cliff Brown. Good coverage for the Eagles cornerback or linebacker Samuel Zimbardi that stepped over to help out on that one. Incomplete. So now 4 for 6. Clock stop at 2:48 left here in the second with the incomplete. 14 all is the score here in Clovis. 2nd down and 10 now from the 40. Right hash. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Jimenez with the tailback in the backfield. Man in motion receiver right to left. Fakes the handoff. Jimenez tries to take it himself. There's a flag in the backfield as he gets pulled down to the ground. And it would be about a 2-3 yard loss in the backfield there, but waiting to see what the call is now on this one. Usually that's a hold back there. Personal foul face mask. That'll be a 15-yard tack against the Eagles, unfortunately, a big one. Not automatic first down, but it was only 2nd and 10, so that should be definitely what they needed to get the first down with a yellow handkerchief on the field turf.
And you know what? As a defensive player, you want to watch out how you tackle, man, because sometimes some things can look like what it's not. Sometimes the way you tackle can make it seem like a face mask, look like this, look like that. But again, you just want to be able to break down and be able to lift them up and tackle right.
Yeah, especially a quarterback in the backfield when he gets kind of low and then tries to root up and your hands are up there. Sometimes they actually get clamped on there whether you meant to or not. First down and 10 now from the 47 of the Eagles. Actually gets into their territory on the penalty. 7th first down. Trips right, receiver left. Shotgun for Jimenez. We got a flag before the snap. Do we have 5 in the backfield? I don't think the field clock expired. Legal substitution called against the Wildcats. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. So 5-yard penalty against Clovis. That's their 3rd for 20 yards and backs it up. That could possibly mean extra man in the huddle, but they didn't even get their snap off yet. If they would have let that play go and there was 12 on the field, that would have been a 15-yard penalty on a live play, so they dodged a bullet on that one. First down and 15 now for the Wildcats, back at their own 48-yard line. 14-14 to score, 2:16 and ticking here in the second. Trips right, receiver left. The 3 in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. 4 on the front defensive line for the Eagles. Jimenez clapping his hands with a shotgun snap. Back to the 40 on the drop back. Pump fake, rolls left, gets pressure. He's trying to dodge out of it, gets back to the right side, gets underneath the pressure, throws it down the middle on the seam, and throws it into the turf, luckily for the Eagles. Almost an interception. As the ball deflected a little bit down at the 35. And trying to come underneath it to try to get the INT with Samuel Zimbardi getting his name in a lot this first half. A lot of movement out there for the linebacking core for Zimbardi.
And sometimes as a defensive player, when you know you can almost be right there to get the interception, it's kind of like a heartbreak feeling, you know, that you don't want. But he almost had it.
I think that was Jeremiah Mackey that was in the backfield that time. And that kid impresses. I mean, 5'11", 255, but he gets on the hops and gets through that line. Second down and 15 for the 47, 48. Shotgun, Jimenez fakes a handoff. Tucks it, goes around the right to the 45, 50. Hobbs territory, 45 near sideline. Stutter step and tiptoes out of bounds at the 40. That will not be enough for the first down. About 14 it looks like they're going to give him, Jimenez. But he needed to get to the 37. He's now at the 30, about 37 and a half, 38-yard line. So he's going to have to get about 1.5 yards for the first. It is a 3rd down look for the Wildcats, with the point of the football on the right hash 39-yard line of the Eagles. Did get out of bounds and stop the clock at 1:47 left here in the first half. 14 all to score. Both teams have scored on both of their possessions. Twins left, twins right for the Wildcats. And Jimenez by himself in the backfield for the shotgun. Bring a man in motion right to left. The wide receiver gets a handoff around the left end, trying to stretch it out, cut up to the left hash to the 35. Tries to push the wall. That's Kaiden Everett. And Everett is going to get the first. Looks like 7 yards for Everett. He stretched that one out to the far left. So Everett is going to get the first down for the Wildcats. That's the 10th first down here in the first half.
And as a defensive team, that's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to let too many first downs, because like a coach used to tell me, first down after first down can end up to a touchdown, and you don't want that to happen.
Everett's a two-way player, too. He's also a linebacker on defense. 1st and 10 now for the 32. Twins right, no receivers left. Jimenez takes the shotgun snap, fake the handoff to the tailback. He wants to fire down the middle, post route, but throws it behind his receiver to the right side. The receiver coming to the left hash that time. Everett was the man they tried to go to on that play right after he ran the football seconds ago. Incomplete. Clovis now 4 for 8 in the passing game. They're starting to go negative on those completions. And clock does stop with 1:14 left in the second. Still 14 all. Clovis trying to take a lead here to go into the half at home. Back to the 31-yard line. The ball is set for the left hash. Crowd getting loud now. Second down and 10 from the 31. Man in motion left to right. Twins left. Now a slot right. Give to the tailback up the middle. Tries to push his head down, and it gets brought down to the line of scrimmage. I don't know how much forward progress he's going to get on this one. That's Ochoa with the football. Mike Meredith was in there. Also got some help from Samuel Zimbardi again. They're going to give a 1-yard pickup for Ochoa on the forward progress. That'll be his 5th carry for 10 yards. And now 3rd down from the 30-yard line, 3rd and 9. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 1:07 left, second quarter, 14-14. Hobbs on the road at Clovis tonight, back in a half a minute. Hobbs Eagles and Clovis Wildcats tied at 14 here in the second quarter. 1:07 left. Kind of a tit-for-tat game so far, Mr. Sovereign Anthony.
Yes, man, it is, man. And it's been good on both sides. And, you know, I think even though they had a beautiful game last week, man, this is a game that you still want to be able to have your head on your shoulders, too, as well. So you want to come out here and fight.
Clovis facing a 3rd down and 9 from the Eagle 31-yard line. Shotgun for Jimenez with the trips right, back to pass, 4-step drop, stays pocket, puts down a spiral to the middle of the end zone, and Eagles had a chance wide open, center field there, waiting for that, diving for it. Back deep was Javen Hernandez, the safety. Miscommunication with the receivers for Clovis. Nobody in the middle of the end zone. Everybody's out towards the left and right of the end zone, so major mess up there on the pass call. That'll bring up a 4th down, and Hernandez tried to dive for that, was off to his left a little bit in the end zone, but put his body on the line to try to come up with an INT.
Yes, man, it was great effort, and balls like that, man, is always a safety's holiday, you know, to be able to catch that interception, get it right, and get it gone, but it was almost there in his hands.
Ball at the 30, 4th down and 9 for the Wildcats, closer to the left hash. They'll send 3 receivers right, 1 to the left side, and Jimenez will be in the backfield for a shotgun and a tailback. But we won't get to the play yet because Coach Hodges calls a timeout for the Wildcats to discuss a crucial down here late in the second. We'll keep it right here. You got some scores for us, Sovereign, from Lee County teams.
Yes, man, some Lee County games going on right now, man. Quite don't know, but it is the second quarter for Leventon and Gaston, and Leventon is up 21 and Gaston has 14. Then it's also half for Leventon and Gaston too as well. The score is 28 and Gaston 20. Leventon 28, Gaston 20. Then you got Eunice and Texaco going at each other, which Eunice has 6, Texaco has 7, first quarter. Then you got Tatum and Mascalero going against each other too right now, which Tatum is up 14, Mascalero got 6 in the first quarter.
We passed the Texaco bus coming to the game tonight, coming down to take on Eunice, of course. And Jal played last night, so they're not on the schedule for tonight's matchups. Hobbs Eagles next week on the road, Thursday night. We'll be playing, that's Thursday night football. Going to be playing in the Field of Dreams there, taking on Oregon Mountain, the team the Clovis beat last week for their first district win. And the following week, of course, the Eagles at home against Carlsbad to wrap up the regular season. No question the Eagles will have a playoff spot, but they're really looking for that number 4. But they got to start here with the win against Clovis. 4th down and 9 from their 31 of the Eagles. Clovis football. Twins right, receiver left. Shotgun Jimenez. 4-step drop back to the 40. Down the middle. Seam route wide open. Ball is dropped at the 2-yard line. Wide open receiver. Kind of got underneath his bicep there and spun for some reason. It was thrown to his left shoulder. Was kind of turned inside. Incomplete. No defender anywhere close to that wide open receiver. And boy, the coaching staff on that purple and white team shaking their heads. As the Wildcats were going to take a lead before the half with that one, incomplete.
And that right there definitely worked for the defense favor because, hey, man, that right there would have been something tragic if they would have been able to score that wide open pass.
Pass was intended, I believe, for Jaden Tapia that time. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the turnover on downs from the 31. Shotgun, rolling left. It's Medrano. He'll sail it out in the out route. Good catch high in the air, getting hit in the back hard. And they'll mark it at the 43. That's a 12-yard pickup. As getting up high for it that time, Adrian Mora.
And you know, you hear Mora's name a lot, man, because he's a very skilled player. Plays safety, and he can also go out there as receiver and catch a few passes.
Eagles 3 of 6 in the passing game. 1st down, that's their 8. Shotgun to Medrano back at the 39. Handoff up the middle, 45-50 to the left hash, 45 for the 1st down. Looks like 13 for Seamus Wright. Just putting his head down and getting the gap hard. So 13 pickup for him. That's his best carry of the night. Got 48 yards on the ground so far on 7 carries. And a timeout on the field, stopping the clock at 37 seconds. Eagles' ninth first down, 15-14 or 14-14 is the ball game. Looks like the scorekeeper was starting to put points up for the Eagles there, and then took them back off the board. Definitely like to have those points before the half. At least a field goal. Of course, Beatty has a good leg if we need him to boot it through. But I think it would be a nice dodge of a bullet, almost giving up a wide-open touchdown, but come back and scoring on Clovis. That might sink them a little bit at halftime and get their momentum down.
Yes, man, it might, man. But, Ty, I got a question. What would you do at this time? 37 seconds on the clock. Would you want to run the ball? Would you want to throw something deep?
That's a good thing about Medrano. When he scampers outside, it gives some time for the receivers to get open, but he can also tuck on the open field. He's going to have to keep it more to the right because right now they're on the left hash in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. 1st and 10 from the 45 after the timeout. Twins left and right, 3-step drop for Medrano. The shotgun is going to get sacked. Didn't know it was coming. That's going to be an 8-yard loss. That's coming in there hard for the bear hug from behind him was Jordan Parrish, the defensive end. That'll be a 7-yard loss for Medrano. I don't really remember seeing that happen in this season where he's from the blind side, just got swallowed up. And not much he could have done about that one. And this guy coming from that left end for Clovis to make the stop. So 2nd down and 17 will be the situation now at the Eagles 48. It dropped him back to their side of the field as well. So they're going to have to go 52 yards in 28 seconds to try to break this 14-all tie.
And you know what, as a line, you want to always keep your block. You want to be able to give your quarterback so much breathing room, so much time to think to be able to make a play. And so you want to be able to, hold them off away from the king.
So back at the 48-yard line after the Eagle timeout. 2nd down and 17 from the left hash. Eagles have put 2 receivers both sides. Medrano back in shotgun with right on his right shoulder. Fake the handoff, tuck it, go up the middle. Medrano spun around to the line of scrimmage and falls forward for about 2 yards to the 50. And that's close. Yep, right at the 50. They're going to mark it left hash. And that'll be a 3rd and 15 now. Clock down to 13 seconds and a half. Twins left and right. Shotgun Medrano. 2-step drop. He's looking left. Curl route. Caught at the 39 and run out of bounds quickly. Be about a 12-yard pickup on that one. As coming up with it is Mora. His 2nd catch for 24 total. Eagles are 4 of 7 in the passing game. 4th and 4 for the Eagles at the Wildcat 39. Clock down to 6 seconds. He did get out of bounds to stop the clock. That will be not a first down, but they got to go for it on this one. Definitely a 4th. Trips right, receiver right, left. 3-step drop from Medrano out of the shotgun. Steps up the pocket. He's going to fire it to the far side. Wide open receiver at the 15 and a catch going down quickly. And it'll be at the 14-yard line. The Clovis, I guess the clock ran out right when the play. I thought it might have been a fumble. The whole team was run out in the field. They got the catch. The Eagles are trying to get the officials' attention here to know what was going on. Wow, what's going on here? The whole bench of the Clovis Wildcats ran out in the field. That ball was complete. It looks like they said it was down to the 14, I believe.
Maybe he stepped out of bounds?
No, I don't think so. The time is what I think the issue is. Clovis acted like they just avoided a score for Hobbs. Still waiting to see what the call was on that. I guess they're going to give Hobbs some time regardless, which is good for the Eagles. They're going to go ahead and try a field goal. The ball will be placed down at the 21. This will be a 31-yarder for Beatty from the right hash. Wildcat players on the sideline right in front of the field goal area are jumping up and down trying to get his attention. Here's some cowbells out there. So they're going to say 1 second to play here on this one. Waiting for the snap. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's a nice long distance one, and it is good to end the half. So that'll be a field goal for the Eagles to take a 20-17, or make it 17-14 lead. And boy, just getting that 1 second to be able to kick that field goal for the lead. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back live here in Clovis. Ty Friend, Sovereign Anthony with you as your Hobbs Eagles take a field goal lead at the half, 17-14, 31-yarder for Beatty. Pass deep to Beatty before that play, and he went down and about the 20 or 15 or 16-yard line, and looked like the half was going to be over. The Clovis bench was running out in the field. I almost thought they had a fumble recovery or something, but for some reason they did stop the clock. I don't know if Hobbs got the timeout or not, but regardless, they had 1 second to kick the field goal, which gave the Eagles the advantage at the half, and I think that was important because Clovis gave up a touchdown at the other end, wide open at the 2-yard line. Receiver dropped the football, and they would have had a 7-point lead at that point, but now a 3-point lead for the Eagles. Major turnaround on that one.
Hey, man, and good enough for that too as well. And again, you got to say this game been working in their favor tonight, you know, on both sides, even on the defense and also on the offense, man, because, hey, could have been an open touchdown right there, and also, man, it could have been a down where, hey, halftime, everybody go in the locker room and everything like that, but it gave them advantage to be able to kick a field goal, so it's great right there, and you got to love that. So this game been working in their favor tonight.
Yeah, a lot of even numbers in this game so far. Clovis down by 3, 17-14. The Wildcats, in terms of their rushing game, as we expected, Jimenez, their quarterback, does lead in yardage. 12 carries for 68 yards. He had a rushing touchdown of 6, a long of 21, also a 14 and 11-yard carry too. He was dropped in the backfield once for -10, but still pretty decent job of seeing the field, get some gaps when he needs them, and leads the team in the rushing game so far. Other rushers at this point, Royal, 5 carries for 25. He had a 2-yard touchdown run. Also, Ochoa, the fullback, 6 carries for 19 yards. His long was 9. So they're the predominant rushers. Everett had 1 for 7 there in the second quarter. 131 yards on the ground so far, so triple digits for the Wildcats in the first half. In terms of the passing game, they're 3 of 10 in that department. They have hit some big ones, too. Brown caught a 46-yarder to start the game on the first play of the contest for the Wildcats. The Eagles second-guessing. Clements had a catch for 29 yards, and Cordova 1 catch for 6 yards. So just one each for their 3 receivers. Again, they are 3 of 10 in the passing game for 81 yards. So 212 total yards of offense in the first half for the Clovis Wildcats. They've had 3 penalties for 20 yards, punted once, turnover on downs one time as well, but they've been pretty consistent moving the football with 10 first downs.
Yes, man, and they've been getting up the field, man. You got to give it to them, and like you said, man, Jimenez is a player which you call an eye-opener. You know, a player that you got to open your eyes on and be able to keep your eyes on and have your eyes open on, you know, at the same time. And he's been getting up the field, and you can see that, man, he can throw the ball a little bit. But, again, being 3 out of 10 and stuff like that, it's not too much there. But he loves running the ball, and they love giving it to him for a quarterback sneak or so and a fake reverse. So you got to watch out on him. And like you said, with the fullback Ochoa, man, you don't want to give him an advantage. You don't want to give him room because he runs hard. He runs on the outfield hard. He runs up the middle hard. He want to make sure to be able to get up the field. And if you give him the advantage, man, he'll end up doing something out there. So I've been seeing some great plays by Jimenez and the fullback too as well.
Also John Royal, who's been kind of lining up as a fullback and in a slot. He'll come around on the reverse there for the outside and get some good yards as well. Look at the Hobbs Eagles in the first half in terms of the running department. The leader at this point, just like with Clovis, is the quarterback, Medrano. 8 carries for 81 yards. He's had 3 of 20, 22, and 29 big-time rushes for him in this first half. Hasn't scored yet. Oh, yeah, he scored 1, a 1-yard rush for a touchdown, but definitely the big numbers. And, again, we've been mentioning, too, he's averaging 130 yards a game on the ground, so he definitely can see the field. He can watch to see if the receivers are all caught on defense, so he's going to move around them and go up with the run himself. Definitely a very versatile quarterback. Seamus Wright, good to see him with some touches in the first half. 7 carries for 48 yards, 11-yarder for a touchdown, plus a 13-yard rush as well. Definitely helping out the cause. So but combined with those 2 guys, 129 yards there. DeMarcus Hills only had 1 carry in the first half, but it was for 24 yards. So 3 guys have run the football so far, 153 yards on the ground, which is more than what we saw from the Clovis Wildcats at 131. Passing game been kind of quiet so far for the Eagles. They are 5 of 8 at this point. 2 catches for Beatty for 33, including the 27-yarder to get them in field goal range. Morris had a couple himself for 24 total, 2 12-yarders. And French, very quiet night, 1 for 9. Eagles have had, in terms of the passing department, 5 of 8 in that game and 66 yards total up to this point in time. 153 in the run, 66 in the pass for 219. That is 7 yards more than the Clovis Wildcats in the first half. Eagles have been penalized 10 more yards, 3 for 30 versus 3 for 20 for Clovis. 1 punt so far. Eagles 1 less, first down, 9 compared to 10 for the Clovis Wildcats. So things are kind of even, although the scoreboard 3-point advantage for the Eagles.
Yes, man, it is. And I've been seeing some, great field work on the ground, and also in the pass game a little bit. I believe throwing into the pass game a little bit more, man, would also help this game too as well. But again, like you said, Madrano, man, he knows to see the field. He's a strategic quarterback, and when he sees something that's not open, he's gonna also run to the open side and run and get through there and get up the field, and that's what you want to see by a quarterback, and also by Seamus and by DeMarcus, man, by them two running backs. Them running backs are two different styles of running backs. Seamus is a strategic running back. He makes sure to see the open field and be able to get through holes and get through there. And one thing about DeMarcus, he just runs straight up and gets open. And so I've been seeing a lot of great things by them, and also by the receivers, man. Some of them been getting open, and I've been seeing some great catches by them as well. And like Mora, man, he plays both sides of the field. He can play defense and play offense, and he's been making some great catches out here. So I've been seeing a lot by him, and I've been seeing some great things overall.
First quarter, it was a 6-yard run for Jimenez for a touchdown. 2-point conversion went in for a pass as well, 8-0. Hobbs got an 11-yard run for Wright and got the kicking PAT, trailing 8-7 at the end of the first. Then it was Clovis's turn, a royal 2-yard run for a 14-7 lead. They missed the 2-point conversion. This team will not kick conversions. They're going to go for the 2. Hobbs gets another score to tie it up, a 1-yard run for Madrano, 14 all with 4:33 left in the second. And then with time out, 1 second left in the second quarter, it was Beatty kicking a 31-yard field goal for the 17-14 lead. We're going to take another 3-minute break as we're at halftime here in Clovis. Your Hobbs Eagles up 17-14. Come back with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network once again in 3 minutes. Back here at halftime in Clovis, your Hobbs Eagles lead 17-14 after a 31-yard field goal for Beatty to get the lead. And, of course, this Clovis team, a very well-known program around the state. Eric Roanhouse, who this field is named after, a legendary coach, 29 years with this program, and definitely was one of the best in the state. When was it? 13 championships Clovis has gotten over the years, especially when he was there. He retired back in 2016, I believe. So he's been out for a while, but definitely a very storied program. I know you had a chance to play play Clovis back in your final season, 1990. I keep saying 99, 2019. I always love to go back to my daughter's birth year on that one, but. Anyway, not the best result in that contest for you, I guess. 42-16 was the score on that one, but you had 4 catches for 31 yards. The problem was your Eagles were down 22-2 at the half. I guess you scored a safety, your squad did, but other than that, they ended up winning that ball game by 26, but that wasn't your best game of the season. We've talked about some of those prior to that, but again, it was a tough rivalry back even then because right before that, I mean, if you look at the wins that the Clovis Wildcats had, they had a 7-game winning streak from 2014 up to 2019. They had beaten Hobbs in all those games prior to that. The last win for Clovis was in 2020. That was the year after you got out, the COVID year. They had beat Hobbs 14-10. So Hobbs has won all the seasons since then, 21 through up to 24. But, again, before that, though, I mean, they're the best teams in the state besides Artesia, who's got 30-plus state championships. So it was tough to beat Clovis. I mean, always a big rival game with Hobbs, and they had their number for quite a few years.
Yes, man, they did, man. I always had some great skilled players, man, and definitely, coming up to my year and everything like that, man, it was a pretty tough game to play Clovis. First game of the year, that we're our first game, and so, me coming from my first year out of football, it was pretty, nerve-wracking a little bit, but again, at the same time, man, Clovis always had a great skill set. Always had some players that can make something happen, get up the field, and be able to do some great things.
Of course, back then they weren't in your conference or district because that was the first game of the season. Normally, with the district, you play them towards the end of the season. But so anyway, that's they have they're well known of. I mean, the program is with Eric Roanhouse definitely. One of the best in the state of New Mexico. But since then, things have been kind of down. Last year, 0-10, and they've had some issues in terms of getting to playoffs, and they've kind of bounced around. They had, I believe it was the La Cueva district they were in for a while, which is very tough, the kind of the central north section of the state. They moved back into our district with the Las Cruces schools, so kind of toughens it up for them as well with the Las Cruces High and Centennial. One last week against Oregon Mountain. Now, they had a different success against Las Cruces. They were blown out 56-6 in that one, and that was a game of 2 that the Eagles lost 52-13. So Hobbs gave up less points to Las Cruces and scored more than Clovis did in their contest. And then also lost to Carlsbad, a little closer game there, 41-28, so losing by 13. They were 0-2 to start, and then they beat Oregon Mountain last week 30-23. So don't think Clovis is going to be a playoff potential, but they start off this game trying to look like a playoff team with how they started with the score with a 46-yard pass to get it going, and they scored eventually after that. Right now, though, the Hobbs Eagles are trying to get that 4th spot for the playoffs. That would mean that they would not have a game. They'd have a bye the first week, which is an important situation. Then you would have a home game the second week of the playoffs. La Cueva is that team that's kind of hovering in that spot as well. Right now, the Eagles rank 4th in the coaches' poll. Max Prep still has them at 6 behind Centennial, which has got to change, especially with the win tonight against Clovis. So, again, a couple more games left for all teams in the state. So, it's a juggling type of situation with the NMAA in terms of deciding who's going to be the top 4. But really, got to start with tonight's win here, which has to be a W tonight.
It has to be a W for them. It'll be great, and also it'll be a great look for them too as well. And so you don't want to be able to have a bad look, especially at this time around within the season. So you want to be able to get this game over with. You want to be able to have your heads coming out here on your shoulders and come back better on this next halftime, the next quarter.
Both teams just run out onto the field. You heard the cannon fire off, and the white and black squad, who's on our near sideline here, ready for the second half action, leading 17-14. I'm trying to see if they're going to add any more time to the clock. Yep, they're putting on the 3-minute warm-up period, so we'll take a 2-minute break, get ready for second half action. Live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Second half action, get ready here in Clovis. Hobbs leading 17-14. Eagles in the white uniforms, black numbers, black pants, black helmets, and the purple squad, home team, and the white numbering, black pants, and the purple helmets. Clovis going left to right to start the third quarter. Eagles right to left. If you're watching on YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, or the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. 2 more games of the regular season for the Eagles. Next week, Thursday night, special night in Las Cruces to take on Organ Mountain. And then on the final game of the season against Carlsbad at home. Clovis going to kick off from the 40. As we mentioned earlier tonight, we had French with a 24-yard return average on the kickoffs. He tends to be the guy that gets a lot of those. Wait to see if they run the starburst here. The kick is going end over end, and it will be caught at the 24-yard line, brought to the near sideline by Seamus Wright. Nice stiff arm, 30, 35, 40, and tiptoes out of bounds. Knocked into the Hobbs Eagle bench and puts a forearm into the last guy to try to wrap him up near the sideline. Took a big shot to the face mask of Josiah Trujillo for the Wildcats. Seamus Wright is not going to back down.
He's not, man, and he really know how to use that stiff arm, and that's what you want to use out there on the field, you know. As a player, you want to be able to use the stiff arm and use all the moves that you can use, and he uses them well.
Hobbs getting some great field position to start this second half. Remember, first half, both teams scoring on their first 2 drives, and that kind of kept an even keel. Then Hobbs getting that field goal to finish up the second. 17-14 your score. Eagles got to have their drive starting from the 40 left hash. Trips right, receiver left for Hobbs. The lone receiver to the left side is Adrian Mora, who's pulled down a couple of catches for 24. Shotgun, Medrano going to roll right to the 35, throws it on the run to the out route, but over the head at the 50-yard line, trying to connect with Edgar Zubia, who had his first catch last week for 22 yards. That one incomplete. Eagles are now 5 of 9 in the passing game, threw for 66 in the first half. Beatty a couple of catches as well as Mora. Those two combined for 57 of these 66 yards. Second down and 10 from the 40. That's one good thing about Medrano when he gets outside, that the cornerback has to make a decision. Is he going to throw? Is he going to tuck? And that's kind of tough to do on the run.
It is, man, because knowing him, you don't know whether he's going to throw it or run it.
Twins left to right, put a man in motion from left to right now. Shotgun to Medrano, delayed the handoff, run around the left end, the quarterback keeper, 45, puts his head down, takes on 2 more defenders, and barrels his way for the first, and then some. And a late flag coming after the play, 13-yard pickup for Medrano. Very late flag. That was after it was already called dead. Waiting to see what they got the call here. Of course, the Whitecap is facing the other direction. Face mask, and that's a personal foul. 15-yarder against the Wildcats, which is a tack on. That's 4 penalties for 35 now. We'll move the chains for the Eagles on top of the first down they already got. 10 first downs now, evening it up with Clovis in that category. That's kind of a killer. First drive of the second half, already a 3-point lead for the Eagles, and now we're going to have a chance to get closer and closer to that red zone.
And, you know, flags can also, you know, give a team a delay or give a team an advantage, and it gave Hobbs an advantage.
First and 10 from the 32. Shotgun for Medrano, twins left and right. Has Seamus Wright back with him. We got a big jump on the left side of the defensive line for Clovis. We'll see if they're going to call that offsides or possibly false start. Nope, they're going to go with the offside the way we said it the first time. So 2 penalties in a row for Clovis for 20 yards. That's their 5th of the ball game and brings it up to a 1st and 5 for the Eagles. Hobbs takes a look at the sideline for the play call. Twins receivers left and right. Toronto getting everybody set here. Nice and patient. Delay handoff to Seamus Wright. Cuts up the middle of the field. Hurdles a player. 25, 20, 15, and down to the 12. He started at the 22 or 27 down to the 12-yard line. A 15-yard pickup. Make it 16 for Seamus. His best run of the night. 8th carry for 64 yards. And that is the 11th first down for the Eagles. Knocking at the door. They can still get a first near the 2. We're at the 11.5 right now. Shotgun. Medrano going to option left, but it goes near the sideline. Having to save it for the Eagles. Diving on the floor that time to the 16. That will be a loss. Good recovery by Seamus Wright. He was the pitch man that time, waiting for the ball, and the option left. And that's the first time we've optioned in this ball game, unfortunately going for negative yards. Looks like a 5-yard loss on the play. And that will make it a 2nd down and 15 now. They can get the first near the 1-yard line. They're on the left hash. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun for Medrano. Has right with him on his left shoulder. Fake the handoff to him up the middle. Medrano cutting left, 20, 15, 10, 5, spun around and tries to backpedal for the extra. It was close. Went down from the 16 to about the 1. That might be a first down. Yes, it is. 15-yard pickup for the quarterback. 2 carries for 28 in the second half. 109 overall for the ball game. That's his 4th 100-yard rushing game in a row. 12 first downs for the Eagles at the 1. First and goal. Twins right and left. The handoff to right, very much delayed in the gut that time and kind of pulling in and out. He dives towards the goal line up the middle, and we'll see if they call the touchdown. Looks like the right official from the line judge corps there is not going to call the touchdown. Whitecap is going to stop the action, and now a late call. I guess they were uncovering the pile. Touchdown for the Hobbs Eagles. Took a while for them to make the decision on that one. Is that Ed? Who was in that on that one? That was Seamus, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah, that was Seamus.
I saw Edgar Zubia kind of jogging off, and it looked like he was in the bottom there, but I guess it was Seamus Wright. I love the way that Medrano just kept pulling the ball in and out of his stomach to decide whether he'd take it or hot potatoed over to right. They headed towards the middle of the field that time, across the goal line. Official was stopping the clock, and he turned to the press box and went and made a decision. They faked the kick, turning and firing a pass to the left corner of the end zone. It's caught for the score. A connection going on from Robert Garcia into the end zone, left side. Guess who caught that one? Amron Wheeler to the defensive end, playing a little receiver action that time.
Man, you got to give it up for Wheeler, man. Wheeler can put pressure on the quarterback and also catch a touchdown.
I don't know which coach we're going to give credit to up here in the press box, but somebody came up with a big one on the fake on the PAT and the score. Hobbs now leading 25-14. That might be the momentum shifter right there.
There you go, man. Every time you come out of the locker room, it give you that firepower. Like, you know what, guys, it's time to wake up. It's time to come out here. It's time to play football. And I believe that's what I'm seeing right now.
So a guy that doesn't play that position ever, Cameron Wheeler, gets the catch. And a nice play for the Eagles to take a 11-point lead. 2-scoring situation here. And get ready for the kickoff. A little bit more of a breathing room going on now.
It is, man. And that's what you love to see, man. And you got to give it up for the offensive line, too.
10:05 left here in the third quarter. As you get ready for the kick from Beatty after a fake kick conversion there for a 2-pointer instead. Sidewinder. Wobbler caught at the 7 on the far left sideline, cut back to the 10, towards the sideline, and gets run out of bounds. Boy, talk about a swipe at him for the Eagles. Seeing him in a lot of these special teams play. Adrian Mora over there. He's been playing some O, he's been playing some D. Of course, starter as a defender, return man for Clovis with Jaden Tapia on that far left. Not very good field position for the Wildcats. In fact, I think this is their worst of the game at this point. Looks like they'll start from the 12-yard line, 12 and a half. It is 25-14 Eagles by 11 with 9:57 remaining here in the third. Eagles working on their 6th win of the season. Try to get it to 3-1 in district as well. They're 5-2, 2-1, and 2-5 and 1-2 for Clovis. Jimenez in the backfield by himself. Twins right and left. Has a man in motion from right to left. He's going to throw this slant route too low underneath the hands of his receiver at the 20. And it looked like Bo Clement just let his hands go limp and hit the bottom of his fingertips, but didn't get down on his knees to make that catch. Yeah, I think he was hearing footsteps. He had a couple safeties coming at him. Also coming up the field, Adrian Mora wanted to take a shot if he would have come down with that one.
Yeah, and sometimes as a receiver, that'll get to you. You know, hear a couple footsteps come at you. It kind of put pressure on the receiver where, hey, I don't know if I want to catch the ball or take a hit.
Yeah, you can get your clock cleaned after coming up with that one. Incomplete, 3 for 11 in the passing game. Second down and 10 from the 11. Fake the handoff, back to Pash Jimenez. He's going to do a fade route, spiral in the right corner near the 50-yard line, but overthrows his receiver. And trying to get out open is Ethan Gutierrez, incomplete. He was kept up with by Leo Hawkes, the cornerback on this near right sideline. Kind of a little fade spiral towards the 50 in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench right. Incomplete, so back-to-back incompletions, 3 for 12 now. Clovis trying to change up their game plan a little bit and not doing too well on this first possession of the second half. They're trailing by 11.
And I see that they're throwing the ball a little bit, kind of going through the passing game. So this right here should give the corners and the safety a good, a surprise in the holiday season to be able to watch out for open passes.
Looks like Clovis is trying to give themselves a shot in the arm and kind of mixing it up and get a new look out there to try to get their crowd juiced up, who's gotten pretty quiet since the big double-digit lead now for Hobbs. They'll bring it back to the 16 on a 3rd down and 10. Twins right and left. Again by himself, Jimenez. No help in the backfield. Brings a man in motion. Receiver right to left. They're going to fake the handoff. Up the middle, Jimenez. And gets up the gut, and he's not getting much out of it. Looks like possibly 2 on the forward progress. Not enough. They needed 10 and got 2 out of that one. Actually, they might extend it a little bit, give him 3. That's only his first carry of the second half. Led at the half was 68. Now is 13. It was 71 total. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 7. And it looks like another punt in the game, the second one of the contest. Hobbs will have one back deep near the 50. Good booming punt here. Showing fair catches more. Ooh, he bobbled it, but he caught it at the 49. He had a guy right towards his grill that time. That almost was a kick return interference there. You got to give him a little bit of space for a return man. You could just see his hand shaking because he thought he was going to get popped hard, and no flag on the play, but a nice catch at the 49 of the Wildcats. So second punt of the game for the Purple squad. The Eagles will have it in Clovis territory, and this could kind of seal the deal with another score on their second drive.
Yes, and the way they've been moving up the field, man, the last couple of plays, man, if they can keep that momentum and that consistency up, I believe, man, this game can be a takeoff for them.
Pair of receivers left, one to the right side. Shotgun with a split formation backfield. Back to pass Medrano. 2-step drop. Flushed out of the pocket to the right. To the far right sideline. Pump fake. We got a flag near the line of scrimmage, or actually behind the line by a couple yards. Way behind the play towards the middle of the field as Medrano is heading to Clovis sideline right. Not a good situation, I believe. Holding penalty right there. Knew that was coming. 10-yarder. Hobbs 4 penalties for 40 yards. That'll back them up. Back into their side of the field. Once you have that extended sideline running like that, the guys in the back are kind of wondering which way do you want to move your man? Is he going to cut back and go back up the field? Or is he going to step the sideline and that time reaching from behind on the jersey? First down and 20 now from the 41-yard line. Twins right and left. Shotgun. Handoff around the left end. Tucking up the left hash. 40, 45. Dragging people with him. It'll be about 7-8 yards. Boy, another late flag. We had a bunch of these in the first half. The ball carrier for the Eagles that time was DeMarcus Hill getting his second rush of the night. So that would have been 7 yards. I don't know if that was a dead ball foul. It's pretty late in the play, but Hill's second carry for 31 total. Did I miss the signal here? We've had some personal foul face masks. Yep, that's what it's going to be, 15-yarder.
Man, I've been, seeing a lot of face masks out here tonight, man, and things like that you got to be careful with because you can be able to hurt somebody's neck, and you don't want to have nobody injured by pulling them away and, stringing their neck or anything like that.
First down for the Eagles, their 13th, the second 15-yard penalty personal foul against Clovis. They're at the 36, and now the direct snap going to come over to Seamus Wright, throws it downfield to the goal line, touchdown. Oh, there's a flag back at the 35. They did a direct snap to Wright in the backfield. I had to double check to see who the number was. It was to Wright. He threw it back towards the 40, upfield to about the 1 as the catch was made, but we're coming back with the flag near the line of scrimmage. And that was Justice French, who was the one that made the catch up near the goal line. He dove towards the goal line, and they gave him a TD on that. Illegal player downfield is what they got the call on there. That will be back up 5 on that one. So erase the score on the pass. 5-yard penalty against the Eagles. Second penalty in the half, 15 yards in this half, 45 overall on total 5 penalties. Back to the drawing board, Sovereign. Now, that would have been you on that long ball, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would have been me right there,
First and 15 from the 43. Shotgun on the split formation. Handoff up the gut. 40, putting on the afterburners here. Driving a force across the 35. That's going to be getting at least the penalty yardage back and maybe more. 7-yard pickup. Seamus Wright. No, that wasn't right. That was Hill. So Hill gets another 7. He's got 3 carries now for 38. Hurry up offense. Second down and 8 from the Clovis 35. Stop and go on the handoff. Cutting around the right end, right, 30, 25, far sideline, 20, 15, 10. Puts on the chug and dives to the goal line. They're going to put him out at about the 1. He tried to jump over the pylon on the right side. He couldn't get clearing it. And that's going to be a 34-yarder. Clovis kid got knocked down. They're taking care of him right now. From the 35 down to the 1, that's a 34. Oh, there's a flag at the 20. Coaching staff up here in the press box screaming. I knew something was up, but wasn't sure if they're excited about the play or saw a flag. It's a flag at probably a block in the back at the 21. That's usually where those type of halfway down the play, that's usually what you get the call on.
Man, you got to watch out for those flags, man, because they can be wasted plays. And you don't want to waste good plays like that, man. 2 great plays wasted.
We hate being on this side of the field because you miss the Whitecap signal on every play. He faces the home sideline. That looked like they backed it up 15. So I'm not sure what they would have called on that. 15-yarder on a live ball against the Eagles. So erase the pass. Both teams are starting to get hit with the big ones here in the third quarter. Second down, it goes back to a 9 yards they need. They're at the 36 of the Wildcats on a second down. Twins left, receiver right, shotgun, back to pass, Medrano back at the 45, dumps it in the left flat, caught by Wright at the 35, 30, far near sideline, 25 and brought down. He gets a first down. 11 yards for Seamus Wright, little screen to the left sideline.
And wait to have your eyes open on the ball because we see he was in the midst of everybody, and be able to still catch that ball, man. You got to have great vision.
Now 6 of 10 in the passing game. First catch for Wright. That's 77 yards in the air for the Eagles. They've had a couple of passes here in the third quarter, but brought back on penalties. That will be the 14th first down. Shotgun. Back to pass again. 3-step drop. Running right, Medrano. There's a flag in the backfield. Throws it to the far sideline to the 10. Catch is made, but we're coming back again. Think we're going to have a holding penalty this time. Whitecap waiting for a conference with one of his other officials here. Holding penalty on the Eagles. Boy, starting to mount up here. 4 penalties in the second half, just in the third quarter alone, for 40 yards. 70 overall, Sovereign, and that not a good situation at this point, although they haven't been tacked with as many personal fouls like Clovis has, but kind of hurting the drive here to try to advance their 11-point lead.
And you just and when it comes to a play like that or a flag or a penalty, you want to be able to move your feet. Like a coach used to tell me all the time. If you're holding, it's because you do not want to move your feet. So maybe move your feet a little bit. I believe we can get up the field without no flags.
A lot of these are happening late in the play in the backfield, too, right near where after the throw by the quarterback. 34-yard line is where they're at. First down and 20. And they're at the 33-yard line of the Wildcats. Shotgun, fake the handoff, going right up the middle as Medrano gets hit in the hip, spreads it out to the left to the 30, and gets thrown forward to the 29. So he was going to go down to the line of scrimmage and continue to power forward, and is going to pick up about 5 there, the quarterback for the Eagles. 3 carries in the second half for 33 yards, and has 114 overall for the Eagles. That's a second down and 15. As they're now at the 28 of the Wildcats. Trips left, split formation backfield. Medrano in between his 2 backs and has a receiver to the far right as well in front of the Clovis bench. Eagles change at the play call, look to the sideline. Medrano with the handoff with the middle right, heads right side, 25, and gets pulled down from behind. As getting him on a straddle there was Peyton Kirby, the linebacker. Another 7 for Seamus Wright. His 3rd carry in the second half. He's got 66 yards on 10 carries. 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at the 23 of the Wildcats. Shotgun again, 3-step drop for Medrano. He's going to throw the slant route, count at the 10, 5, towards the end zone, bang again for the score. Big time play there for 23 yards and getting the reception and the bang over the goal line. It was Addix Wheeler, the wide receiver. He's a sophomore.
Wow.
So 23-yard play for Addix Wheeler. Amron Wheeler went out for that 2-point conversion pass earlier.
It seemed like it's the Wheelers' night tonight, you know, and that's what you love to see, man. Great play, great touchdown.
Don't even have him on my receiver roster in this game, but he gets one big there for the touchdown. First catch of the night, and I think of the season as well. Good snap, the kick is up, and for Beatty it is good. Hobbs now up by 18. 5:40 left, third quarter. It's 32-14 Eagles as they want to continue to be second place in the district. We'll come back in 30 seconds of the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles extend their lead to 18, 32-14 with 5:40 left here in the third. Addix Wheeler, a 23-yard pass reception from Medrano. First catch of the season for Wheeler. Of course, his relative catching a two-point conversion on a fake earlier in this ball game. Getting ready for the kickoff from Beatty from the 40. Wobbler going to bounce at the 5 and heads to the end zone for the automatic touchback. So that'll start a 20-yarder at the 20-yard line for the Wildcats. Unsuccessful in their first drive. The Eagles taking advantage of it. Some penalties backed him up on the offensive drive there, but continued to move it downfield and got past it and then get that connect to Wheeler for the score.
And, you know, like a wise man used to tell me, mistakes is necessary for growth. So, you know, some mistakes can get put on the field, but as long as you grow from it and push forward and get down the field, look what happens. It turned out to a touchdown.
Eagles are 7 of 11 in the passing game. They've added 34 yards in the pass department in the second half. Now 100 on the night for the throwing arm of Medrano. First and 10 from the 20 for Clovis. They've got a I formation, shotgun here. Clapping his hand, Jimenez gives it to the fullback up the gut. Met at the 20. I don't think he's going to get much. Maybe forward progress if he's lucky, as he's taken down quickly by Joseph Riza. Ball carrier that time, very short yardage. Believe that was, is that Bo? I don't know if they put Bo Clements in there. It looks like number 11, but, oh, excuse me, that was Royal. Gave him nothing, though, so who cares? 6 for 25 is Royal. Second down and 10 for the 20. Clapping his hands, Clements gives a man the tailback around the right end. 20, 25, gets somersault, 30, the ball's loose. That would be a 12-yard pickup. We'll see if the Eagles have recovered. 12-yard pickup. They haven't signaled yet. They're going to give it back to Clovis. That was close.
It seemed like a fumble to me.
Yep, 12-yard pickup. That'll be for Andrew Fenstermaker. Actually, no, is that Royal again, I believe. So he gets 12. That is a first down. 11 in the game for Clovis now at their own 31, but they trail by 18 to Hobbs. 32-14 with 4:52 remaining. Eagles have 4 in the front box. Twins left. Now they're going to shift some of their line to the left side of the line. Shotgun, handoff around the left end, stretching out Royal. 20, 30, 35, heading to the sideline and brought down, maybe just shy as he's stripped from behind. So Royal's going to get a couple on that one, but had to stretch out to that far left. More lateral running than he wanted. 4 yards for Royal. 3 carries for 16 in the second half, 41 overall on 8 total carries at the 35. Second down and 6 for the Wildcats. Clock's becoming a factor here in the third, getting down to 4:20. Of course, a whole other quarter to go after this one, but nice turnaround here in the third as the Eagles have managed to put on 15 points to 0 for Clovis up to this point. On the left hash area, second down and 6. Twins right, slot right. Jimenez going to hand off around the left end to Royal, 35, and to the far left sideline of the 40. Needed to get to about the 41. We'll see if they give it to him. He needed 6, got about 5 or so. Oh, they're giving it to him. 6 yards, first down for Royal.
And, man, he's been a heck of a runner out there, you know. He's been running up the field and getting there and make sure to get a first down. But, hey, it makes the defense get on their feet to be able to get some stops and be able to break down.
He's saying most of his positive runs on the outside of the lines there and getting out toward the sideline in front of the Clovis bench. 12 first down for Clovis. As Royal now with 22 yards in the second half, 47 overall. from the 41-yard line, still in Clovis territory. Twins right, slot right, shotgun Jimenez. He's going to roll right. He wants to throw. Pump fake, throws it down the middle. Behind his receiver, kind of doing a drag route from right to left at the 50, and when thrown behind it about 3 yards. The receiver was just saying, hey, that ball wasn't supposed to be where you threw it to. He was heading towards the Clovis sideline on the far left, intended for Kyson Ulibari, incomplete for the Wildcats. They are 3 of 13 in the ball game. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 41 left hash. Clock stop with 3:44 left third is 32-14 Eagles. Eagles have 4 in the front. Twins right, slot right, fake the handoff. Jimenez out of the shotgun, rolls right. He's waiting for receivers to get open, has a chase on him at the 35, tucks it, goes 40, near sideline 45, and his two-handed touched out of bounds after a 4-yard pickup, pushing right in the back to the out-of-bounds zone, Adrian Mora. It looks like they're going to give him 6 yards. Boy, it's a kind of a liberal spot on that one. 6 yards for Jimenez. That was his 2nd carry of the second half. He's got 77 overall. Still facing a 3rd and long, 2.5 or so. Got to get to the 49 of the Eagles right now around the 48. Clovis taking some more time in the huddle. He did stop the clock as he got out of bounds. And walking up to the line of scrimmage. No extended receivers, everybody bunched up here with a couple of slots as well. Shotgun for Jimenez, and we got a whistle before the snap. See where the flag is coming from. Might have been 5 in the backfield there. Going to be procedure against Clovis. 5-yard pickup. Of course, we're not only getting the signal towards the other side of the field, the press box, and not our side, so usually Whitecaps at least give the signal to the sideline so Hobbs knows what's going on, but a 5-yard penalty against the Wildcats regardless.
And this right here gives the defense an advantage, and let's see how they play with it.
7 penalties for 60 yards for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 8 now from their own 43. Shotgun. Stacked receivers both sides. Handoff around the left end. Going long to the 45, to the sideline of the Clovis side. Up to the 49. We got a flag from behind. Looks like maybe a hold. I think this one's coming back. And the flag was at the 42. Now they're pushing it to the 45. The official threw it forward a little bit more. Not as bad as it could have been. So that should back it up to about the 35-yard line. So kind of erase everything on that one. But you haven't seen this. It is holding Clovis. So they're starting to backward up at 2. That's their 5th penalty here in the second half for 50 yards, 70 overall. And that'll back it up, like I said, to the 35-yard line on the left hash. 3rd down and 15. Hobbs is getting some subs sprinting off the field, going full speed on a 40-yard dash there. It was Caleb Blackman to get off the field just in time. Trips right, 1 receiver left. Jimenez waiting for shotgun as the tailback behind him. Fakes the handoff, 3-step drop, gets pressure. Reeler gets shoved out of the way, though. Right on the left end. Jimenez 35-40 and tiptoes out of bounds. See where they say he went out at the 43-yard line. Looks like 6 yards, close to 7 for Jimenez. He's got 84 yards on 15 carries now at the 42. A 4th down and 9, and boy, this side of the field, you are down by 18, but you're still in the 3rd quarter, so kind of a gamble to go for on a 4th and 9. And it looks like they're kind of wondering about it too as Coach Hodges making the decision here. Now, if you give the Eagles back the ball and you don't make a 1st down here, that's going to be a major momentum pusher for the Eagles, who are already up by 18. Trips right, receiver left, running up to the line of scrimmage of the Wildcats. Jimenez gets shotgun. 2-step drop, flushed out of the pocket, rolls right, has pressure, he's going to get pushed and thrown to the ground. There's Abern Wheeler. He got shoved out of the way last time, not this time. He throws down Jimenez for an 8-yard loss. He just took him on the shoulder pads and released him to the field turf in a big-time pro wrestling move.
And we know Wheeler, man, he's known for getting in there. And it's like, man, he's trying to get into a place, man, like he's been there before, so therefore you got to give it up to Wheeler, man. Wheeler's been doing great out there.
We mentioned a gamble on the call for for Coach Hodges on that one, and it did not pay off for him. And in fact, it was a major mess. You go down to the backfield, which gives the Eagles more positive yards on their offensive set here. They'll send twins left and right. I bet you they're not going to have much time to in between plays either. Hurry up offense will be coming. Ready for the shotgun. Madrano has a man in motion. Beatty right to left. Give the handoff. Reverse. Flick back over to the right side, and going hard to the far right sideline is Mr. Hill. It gets banged into at the 25. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10. And he's on the right hash and gets pulled down finally by Clovis. So from the 32 down to the 10, that's a big-time 22-yard run for, and then we got taking a few seconds to get everybody off the pile there on the reverse. They flicked it to right, coming left, and he handed off to Hill to the right. So 22 yards for Hill. That's his second best carry of the night. He's got 60 yards on 4 carries. First down for the Eagles, that's their 15th at the 10-yard line. Shotgun to Madrano, handoff around the left end, come back to the middle, putting his head down and diving for the end zone. Is it good for the score? Wait and see. They might have had the knee go down. Hobbs Eagles all putting their arms up for the touchdown score here, but don't think the officials are going to bite on that one. Was that that was Hill again, I believe. Yep, Hill got that one, angling left that time. He got 9 yards just shy of the end zone. 69 yards on the ground. It'll be second and goal from the half-yard line. Shotgun for Madrano. Back to pass, 3-step drop. He'll throw it down the middle of the end zone on the slant route. Hits hard after Justice French's hands. He was jumping in the air that time through his fingertips. Might have got bumped from behind there by the safety or cornerback, but they're saying incomplete regardless. Eagles are 7 of 12 in the passing game. They haven't thrown a lot of passes here in the third quarter, but do have an 18-point lead.
And that's right. And if you at this position right here, Ty, what would you rather do? Would you run it or would you throw the slant route?
I mean, it's taking a risk with all that bunched up secondary in there that close to the goal line, but you're kind of trying to mix stuff up a little bit, not let them just guess, put your head down and go up the gut, which most coaches are going to call conservatively on that one. Brings up a third down and goal, getting the ball up the right side of the line and diving across the goal line, waiting for the score signal from the official, and we got it. Touchdown Eagles. Hobbs on the scoreboard again, is punching it through. DeMarcus Hill, 1-yard run for the touchdown. His first score of the ball game. Eagles have had 3 rushing touchdowns in this contest. And 1 score for Wheeler. Amrick's Wheeler got a pass reception. Now making a big-time lead here, pinning the PAT, 38-14. Wait for the long snap. Bounces off the turf. It's loose. Picked up by Beatty. Beatty tries to run but lost his footing and goes down quickly. Tried to angle off to the left there. The ball actually bounced off the turf to the hold of Ortiz there, and no chance to do much with it. So no good on the PAT, but Hobbs up by 24, 38-14. What a difference the third quarter makes.
Yes, man, it makes a huge difference, man, and I've been loving to see the consistency moving up the field from the offense. And you got to clap it up for the defense. The defense been making great stops. Defense been improving since the first half and coming out here ready to go and ready to make some plays, and I love that for them.
Take a 30-second break. Eagles up 38-14. You're listening live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Beatty's kick goes down to the 10-yard line, return up the middle, 15, 20, 25, 30, down to the 34-yard line. 24-yard return for the Wildcats, getting some good field position to start this second half. Return man for the Wildcats was Andrew Finstermaker. 38-14 to score, up by 24 of the Eagles with 1:25 left. Eagles have had 21 points here in the third quarter, 3 touchdowns. None yet for the Clovis Wildcats, having a couple of drives. but Eagles haven't really much got them past the 50-yard line. The defense standing up pretty strong.
And that's what you got to clap it up for them. The defense always improves, man. Every game I've been seeing them, they've been improving, and they're showing that right now on the field.
So ball at the 34 for the Wildcats. Clock to 1:25 left here in the third. They got a bunch of guys in the backfield. No receivers. Shotgun. Jimenez is going to roll right. Back behind the 25. Throws it high in the air. Almost picked off on the near right sideline on the out route. Going high up for with the fingertips. Adrian Mora up over the top of the intended receiver. Kaiden Everett that time in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Everett kind of running a shallow out route to the near right side. And, boy, kind of reading it quickly there for the Eagles was Mora. And just kind of went up for the rebound and just couldn't get the grip on it.
And, you know, you got to watch out for him because he's also known from playing offense and also being a receiver and catching the ball. So that right there, man, he could have caught it and took it home.
No completions for Clovis in the second half. They're 3 of 14 for the game. Second down and 10 from the 34. Handoff to the tailback on the left hash. Tries to cut back to the middle. Going to get about 3, it looks like. Eagles going to meet him quickly, though. Looks like Royal's the man with the ball that time. 3-yard pickup. And getting the stop with a lot of help after he got the wrap up for the Eagles. Caleb Blackman, the linebacker, just a sophomore too. Had to step in. Aiden Glum, of course, went down with an injury in the first quarter. So Royal gets 3 for the Wildcats. He's got 10 carries for 50 yards. They're down at 7 now from the 36-yard line for the Wildcats. High snap for Jimenez, hands off around the left end to the 40, down to the 45, breaking tackles, 50, and another flag from behind, which probably is going to be a hold. That would be a first down. About 14, 15 yards if they're going to let that go, but probably a hold against the Wildcats. Pretty consistent on that call through against both teams in this game. Oh, personal foul, face mask, wow. So that's going to end up being 15 yards on the pickup and plus a tack on, so Royal gets 15 on that one. Also be a 15-yard penalty against the Eagles. 55 yards in penalties this half, 30 in the first for 85 overall, and 8 total penalties in this ball game. That will be a first down for the Wildcats. They've got 13 in the contest. And that'll move it into Hobbs Eagle territory. The run already had done that. And that's going to move it up to the 34. Out the left hash. So this is the first actual threat we've seen from Clovis here in the third quarter. 31 seconds left in the third, and Hobbs up 38-14. Coach Stevens now having a discussion about where the mark should have been. It would be a tack on the personal foul, but that would be at the end of the play, so that depends on where they mark the end of the play at. Whitecap coming over to talk to Coach Stevens here on the near sideline. Clovis going to back off the line now, go back to the huddle. Still having a long talk here. Officials are wearing the pink armbands tonight. So Coach Stevens got the explanation from the Whitecap. He's heading back to the middle of the field. Clovis now at the football, 1st and 10 from the Eagle 34-yard line. 31 seconds left, third, 38-14, Hobbs by 24. 21-0 unanswered points here for Hobbs in this third quarter, Sovereign. Big numbers to try to get back in the game for the home team. Double slot look on the left with the receiver. Shotgun Jimenez. Fakes the handoff. Takes his block around the right end. 35. Extend near sideline. 30. 25. 20. Pushed out at the 19. Looks like they're going to give him 14 on the play. Jimenez stretching out to the near side. In fact, that is his best run of the night. 14 yards. Moves the chains. 14th first down for the Wildcats. And that'll put it to the Eagle 19 on the right hash.
And we know he's a great player, but again, for the defense, you do not want to allow the offense to think they have an advantage to come back.
Clovis taking some time in the huddle here. Possibly 2 more plays of this quarter if they need to rush it. 19-yard line's where they're looking. Twins left, receiver right. Jimenez by himself, empty backfield.
And we got nobody out there to the trade side at all.
Brings the receiver in motion left to right. Fake the handoff. Jimenez is going to come around the left end. Heads out to the 20, 15. Left hash, 10. He's going to keep battling with the Eagles. And that's going to be close to the first down. See if they give it to him. Yep, they're going to give him 10. So Jimenez picks up 10. Moves the chains again, 15th time for the Wildcats. Inside the 10 at the 9-yard line on the left hash. That will run out the third quarter clock. So Clovis trying to chisel the lead down just a bit here. Haven't scored yet, but they'll have a couple more downs to deal with here as we get ready for the finale quarter. 38-14 Eagles over the Clovis Wildcats. Back in 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We start the fourth quarter here in Clovis. Ty Friend and Sovereign Anthony with you, former Hobbs Eagle. 38-14, your Eagles up by 24, but Clovis knocking at the door at the Eagle 9-yard line. They trail by 24 unanswered points in that third quarter as we get ready for the first play here in the fourth quarter for the Wildcats. Twins left and right, shotgun to himself. Jimenez gets the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls around the right end. 10, 5, tries to cut it back and is met by a Hobbs Eagle wall and drilled back to the 5. So a 4-yard run on the play for Wildcats. Reza is the man who makes the stop for the Eagles. And we got a man down for Hobbs that had to be helped off the field there. Javen Hernandez coming out of the secondary that time to help out the cause and get some help from teammates and try to shake it off there in the end zone. Referee talking to him for a second. Second down and goal now from about the 4. They actually gave him an additional yard that time, 5 yards. Handoff up the right side. He dive it over the line and a score. That's Royal for a 4-yard touchdown run. Starting to see his name quite a bit in this ball game. Royal, his second touchdown. He had 2-yard run for a score in the first half. 69 yards in rushing so far. 12 carries. And the swinging gate, we didn't see that since the first quarter. They ran it, I think, the first time on their first score, but haven't done it since. So I got 8 players on the left side of the line. Actually, one in motion now to the right. And now just going hard to the goal line for the dive and the score. Didn't even bother with that left side of the line. They go straight up the gut. Eagles had to adjust left. And that's Jimenez with the score. So he takes it himself and gets a 2-pointer. And now 38-22. A little damage done, but I don't think it's going to break the house here yet.
Yes, and you know what? It looks like Clovis still got the enthusiasm to believe that they will come back in. That's what the defense and offense, don't want to make them believe. They want to be able to keep moving up the field, keep scoring, and keep it going and moving forward.
Not sure if we'll see an onside kick here, but we are into the fourth quarter, so they want to try to get any advantage they can, but you don't want to give the ball to the Eagles at midfield and let them have another chance to run clock and maybe score again.
Yes, you don't, because the consistency of them moving up the field, man, has been great. It's been excellent. So, hey, as a coach on the Clovis side, I'd be like, hey, let's just go ahead and kick it down and, get it from there.
38-22 the score. Hobbs up by 16. 2 scoring positions would have to be for the Wildcats. They had to get 2 touchdowns plus 2 two-point conversions to tie it up here. But 11-17 remaining. Not a good clock advantage for the Wildcats. They're all bunched around the ball right now. Eagles kind of anticipating possibly an onside kick. You see 5 guys on the front line of the 50 kind of dancing with their feet a little bit, anticipating a quick shot from the Wildcats. And they go with the onside kick. It's a roller. Eagles come up before the 10 yards and just dive on it. Now get it in Clovis territory. The Good Hands team didn't wait for it to go 10. The man that comes up with it underneath the pile for the Eagles, DeMarcus Hill, And Hobbs reacted quickly, got down low, and dove on that football about 8 yards, 7 yards on the roll.
And way to get on the ball. And again, like you said, Ty, man, hey, this gave Hobbs, the offense, the advantage to be closer to the end zone. And so by the consistency of all the previous plays, man, I don't know, man. This may have been something they might didn't want to do.
I was mentioning let the clock run a little bit, but, 11-17 is a lot of clock to run. And you don't have a lot of field to work with, so you probably want to go for the score as quick as possible just to get the extra insurance on that scoreboard. Trips right, receiver left. Back to shotgun is Medrano back at the 46. Throws a screen to the right side. Caught by right. Heads right to the sideline and gets about 2 or 3 yards. Actually just 2 as he steps out at the 48-yard line. So nice fingertip control on the football that time for Wright. His second catch for 13 yards total. Eagles 8 of 13 in the passing game. And they'll have it at that 46-yard line of the Wildcats on the right hash. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Another shotgun for Medrano. Turns and throws a screen to the right side. Beatty up the near sideline, 45, and out of bounds at the 41. He will be shy of the first down by several, but gets another 3 for the Eagles. Run out of bounds, though, to stop the clock. His third catch for 36 yards. Eagles now 9 of 14 in the passing game. They're backing it up to the 42. Third down and a long 3.5. Twins right and left for the Eagles. Medrano back in the backfield with 1 tailback to help him out. Hard snap count there for Medrano. Right on his left shoulder, and then looks back to the sideline. Maybe changing the play call here. Low snap. Fakes the handoff, tucks it himself up the middle, 40, 35, and dives over the pile, gets the first down. Looks like about 8 for Medrano to move the chains. 16th first down for the Eagles. 122 yards on the ground for Medrano on 12 carries. Hurry up offense, 1st and 10 from the 35. Shotgun Medrano back at the 40. Stays pocket, then rolls right. He's going to throw a nice spiral to the right side of the end zone. Touchdown. Beatty caught it about the 1-inch stride and goes into the end zone. 34-yard passing play. Medrano from the pocket rolled a little bit to the right and fired it wide open to Beatty. 34-yard score.
Wow, wow, wow. See, and that's what you got to love about Medrano, man. He not to run that ball, but also not to see who's open and see the field. So.
Of course, Beatty had 2 touchdown catches last week. Added a 34-yarder tonight. The first pass reception touchdown for him in this game. He's had 4 catches for 70 yards. PAT attempt, guess who? There's Beatty again. Had a field goal, 31-yarder in the first half. This is just a single point. Oh, it hits the right upright and bounces off. Well, that upright looks like one of those French fry things you put in the swimming pool. Styrofoam, what the heck they called.
And you know what? You got to give it up for Beatty, man. Beatty is a receiver that is known for getting open. He's going to get open. He's going to make sure them post routes is his automatically. It's like he knows those. Them is his, green type of routes, and he always gets open on those routes. And, hey, there you go. Touchdown by Beatty.
And again, you wanted to run some clock a little bit, but you have so much up there in the fourth quarter. Adding some points is more important than worrying about the little clock going down once in a while. 10:33 left in the fourth. Hobbs up 44-22, doubling Clovis. We're going to stay right here. Both teams are quickly ready for the special teams units on the field. Everybody lined up, getting ready to go here. Again, we mentioned 4 catches for Beatty. French has had a catch in this game, 2 for Mora. Amrix Wheeler had 1 and 2 catches for Wright. 10 total for the Eagles. And again, lead 44-22. Beatty ready to kick off. From the 40. End over end. It's going to go back deep to the 4. Caught on the right hash. Over to the right side of the 10, 15. And slung down at the 17-yard line. The man with the wrap-up for the Eagles quickly. A few-yard return on that one was Jesse Nelson, defensive back, has played some running back this season too. Not the best field position, not the worst in this game for Clovis. They'll be at the 19-yard line. Not a lot of time left for them though. 10:26 left in the game, 44-22 Eagles. Hobbs working on their 6th win of the season. This would make it 3-1 in district. And of course, currently ranked 4th in the coaches poll, 6th in the Max Preps poll behind Centennial, the team they just beat. They definitely got to change that after the win tonight. Ready for shotgun. Jimenez has one man back with him. Twins right. Delay handoff up the middle to the 20. Driving the pile to the 24, and the Eagles not going to let him get any further than that. Big pile coming up after that one, and the man underneath was Mike Meredith, big 330, 6'2", senior, big wall to take out the legs of the running back.
And you gotta love that about Mike Meredith, man. He's gonna get in there. He gonna move, and for his size, man, he gets there.
Looks like they're gonna give him about 6 on the play. Second down and 4. At the 24. Quick snap in the backfield. Everett Wheeler strips the ball, and he's going into the end zone. Touchdown! Wheeler ripped it out about the 21-yard line, right out of the hands of Jimenez, and it's all she wrote. Wheeler name coming up big tonight. 21-yard. Don't even call it a fumble. That's a strip and go.
I'm telling you, man, with Wheeler, he's going to get in there, and that's what you got to love about Wheeler, man. He's going to get in there, and there you go. By getting in there, he scored a touchdown.
So Jimenez did get a few yards on that one, but got it ripped out of his hands about the 21, and they're waiting for the signal from the official. Whitecap came to the sideline, was signaling something to the Hobbs Eagle coaching staff. They did go in and call that a touchdown. I was waiting to see if that was what the deal was, but Cameron Wheeler, 21-yard strip and run. And the Eagles now go to 50 on the scoreboard, 50-22. Back out Beatty quickly for the kick. Snap is good, and the kick is up and good. Quick scoring for the Eagles. The defense stepping up. 9:35 remaining in the fourth. 51-22. Eagles by 29. Come back with us in 30 seconds on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Ty Friend and former Hobbs Eagles Sovereign Anthony on the broadcast tonight, number 80. How do you feel about your Hobbs Eagles tonight?
Man, they playing hard, man. And they getting the job done, and that's what you want to see out here, especially on these Friday night lights, and that's what they doing, and I'm loving to see it out here tonight.
I wonder why there's no number 80 on the roster this year, Sovereign. I guess they retired your number or something. Kickoff down to the 10. It's going to continue to roll, and the Wildcats try to scoop, but it rolls out of bounds. It looks like at the 8-yard line. That will be a flag, which would pretty much be Clovis wanting it at the 35-yard line. I thought every team had to have an 80 receiver number, don't they?
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually looking at the sideline, too, as well, man. I don't see nobody. I mean, I guess they retired it and hung it up for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was an 88. That's Addix Wheeler, and he did score that touchdown early in this ball game. And pretty impressive, too. Wheeler just a sophomore, so a couple more seasons as an Eagle. Clovis will take it after the kick out of bounds to 35. So they're going to try to whittle away at the 29-point lead for the Eagles. 9:35 remaining here in the fourth. Eagles with a road game next week, Thursday night. Quick turnaround for them. They'll play against Oregon Mountain, the team Clovis beat last week for their first district win. Finish up the season at home against Carlsbad on Halloween night. Going to spook the Cavemen. Shotgun for Jimenez. Twins left. Couple stacked in the back. Got to give the handoff around the right side to the 35. Stint it out the 40. Or possibly short of the 40 there. That's Ochoa. I haven't heard his number that much here in the second half. Looks like about a 3-yard pickup for Ochoa, the fullback.
And you know what, Ty, man? It being 51-22 and 9 minutes left in this fourth quarter, do you still play hard as a team that's losing?
Yeah, they only completed 3 passes in the game. I believe all those in the first half, so that really hasn't been effective. 3 for 14 in the contest. That was Ochoa's 7th carry for 22. Second out and 7 now from the 38-yard line. Again, a handoff around the right end. Ochoa again to the 40, up the sideline to the Clovis bench. powers into one last defender near the 45. Not sure where they're going to put him out at there. Needed to get 7. I think he got 5. Or did they give him a first? Officials got the box down at first down, but they're still showing 2 yards. Oh, now they're going to switch it. There we go. Now they're saying 3rd down, so that will be 5-yard pickup for Ochoa. He's got 8 carries for 27 yards. 3rd down and 2 from the 43. Mina's going to fake with a pump fake. Throws it down the middle on the post route, and it gets rejected in the air. Deflection right in front of the receiver at the 45. Getting a big mitt on it was Javen Hernandez, the safety. So Javen really putting an arm up in the air and just kind of forearmed it down and got it away from the receiver. Incomplete.
And you know what, man? You got to clap it up for the defense, man. The defense is playing hard out here, man, giving the offense pressure, giving the quarterback some pressure, and that's what you want to do, especially as a defensive lineman.
That's going to bring up a 4th down and 2 from the 43. Shotgun, handoff around the right side to Royal. He's going to go up the right hash, backpedaling across the 45, gets a 1st down, gets a few more insurance yards on that one, a 4-yard pickup for Royal. Moves the chains to the Wildcats, 16 first downs. Eagles have 16 as well, but they do have a 29-point lead at this point, 8:34 remaining. I'll put it at the 48. Still on their side of the field, though. And I think you mentioned this just a second ago, that, you got to hurry up out of these huddles. Now, right now the clock is running. That ball stayed in bounds, so we got a huddle. We're taking our time, and guys are walking up to the line of scrimmage. That's not how you get back in a game, even though it's probably out of hand at this point. Twins left. Back in shotgun, Jimenez has a man back with him. Little counter look, give around the right end to Royal. Going to head up the right hash, the 50 into Hobbs territory up to the 45. About 7 yards on the pickup there for Royal. Getting a little bit hobbled up for the Eagles. Robert Garcia trying to come in to help that time. And they're going to give Ochoa 8, or correction, was that Royal 8. Ball marked at the 44 of the Eagles on the right hash. Clock to 7:37. 2nd down and 2 from the 44. Twins left. Single tailback behind Jimenez in the backfield of the shotgun. Give it off to Royal. He just goes straight up the right gap, across the 40, or actually flat on the 40. That'll be enough for the 1st down. Looks like 4 on that one for Royal to move the chains again.
Hey, man, it seems like Royal out there still playing hard, despite the score, and that's how you want to do as a player.
But this is not a quick scoring situation at this point. We're slowing it down, like running clock, too, and you're down by 29. So they might just be happy to try to get another score and just not let the Eagles get the ball back. But that still leaves you a 22-point loss if you score on this one.
Yeah.
1st down and 10. Ball at the 40-yard line of the Eagles. Clovis football, Twins left, slot left. Jimenez in his tailback behind him. Put a man in motion to the left side of the line. Actually, a shift there, formation shift. Coming around the left end on the handoff, trying to extend it out. The Eagles going to meet him in the backfield. Like a 4-yard loss on the play. 2 Eagles sandwich the running back that time. Looks like number 26, and that would be Jacob De La Garza. Boy, they move him, only give him a 2-yard loss on that. Looked like he's almost close to the 45-yard line. So De La Garza, first carry of the ball game. And not a very good one either, -2. First guy in there for the Eagles, by the way, Adrian Mora. 2nd down and 12 now from the 42. Going to reverse around the right side, heading out to the far sideline on the right is Tapia, and they got a flag near the line of scrimmage. Bet there be a hold there on the line as we wait for the Whitecap signal. Pretty quick flag there, so we can expect some hands reaching out. Wait to see about this. But don't call a personal foul face mask again, I hope. Holding, there we go. Nope, they're calling a defensive holding. Don't see that called very often. That'll be a 10-yard penalty against the Eagles. That'll be a 10-yarder against the Eagles, unfortunately.
And at this time of the game, you kind of just want to kind of let your hands go off of things. You probably don't want to put your hands on anything. You just want to let the clock run and not be able to have flags or anything to stop the clock.
9 penalties for 95 yards. Eagles just shy of a 100-yard field here. Ball at the 30-yard line. That will be a first down as well, given to him by the yellow handkerchief. That's the 18th first down for Clovis. Not a horrible number for first downs, but again, you're down by 29 with 5:50 in the clock ticking. They're still not in formation yet. Twins left, one slot to the right side. Shotgun for Jimenez with one man behind him. And they're going with the reverser on the right side. A nice stiff arm given by Royal as he gets run out of bounds, though. Correction on that. Looks like Everett gets about 1 yard. That's his second carry for 8 total. Does get out of bounds and stop the clock. No, they're going to say they're going to let the clock run here. Must have been brought down before he went out. Second down and 9 now from the 29. On the right hash, clock to 5:10 remaining in this one. And boy, got some slow receivers coming from the sideline to get the play call, and guys tying their shoes in the huddle, and no urgency here as the Wildcats not going to have a back-to-back win on their district schedule here. Got a receiver in motion right to left. Fake the handoff. Jimenez going to use the blocks on the left end. Quarterback keeper goes helmet to helmet with the defender for the Eagles and falls forward for a couple of yards. As Jimenez went against the Eagles' Devin Ruiz, the linebacker. A 3-yard pickup for the quarterback. Brings up about 3rd down and 6. Ball placed at the 26-yard line of Hobbs on the left hash. Clock down to 4:25 remaining. See, it's on Thursday night, 6:45. We'll be in Las Cruces, the Field of Dreams, against Oregon Mountain. Split formation backfield. Shotgun to Jimenez in between his blockers as he tries to head up to the right gap and gets shoved down hard. Got helmet right in the gut. I don't know if that's going to be any gain on the play, but boy, talk about a great read there for the Hobbs Eagle linebacker. And that was Caleb Blackman. No gain on the play for Jimenez. 3:45 and ticking here in Clovis. Of course, last year Eagles impressive win here, or at home, I should say, 58-6 the final in that one. Tweds left, slot right. Jimenez back in shotgun, brings a man in motion. Everett left to right, gets the handoff. He's going to stretch it out to the far right. Tries to shimmy a little bit, does not get up the field, and gets brought down in the backfield. Couple of yard loss there. And boy, another great read for the Eagles. Robert Garcia that time, loss of 2. And that was the 4th down. That'll go back to the Eagles for the turnover on downs.
Man, the defense been doing great out here, man, very improving and everything like that. And, you know, the offense coming out here to get another try as well. But as a coach, would you try to just run down the clock, or would you try to score another touchdown?
You got to get some stuff that's going to get some yardage, though. I mean, you don't just want to, take 1 and 2 here and there. I mean, you got to get some good yards, get some first downs to keep the possessions. But, yeah, you're not going to throw any passes, I can guarantee that, especially not screens. Split formation backfield. Twins right, receiver left. Oh, there's a miscommunication there. The handoff up the middle and going hard across the 30, 35, 40. Breaks the tackle down to the 50-yard line. Start off with a 26, a 24-yard, make a 23-yard pickup for the Eagles. DeMarcus Hill. No flags on the play. That's his second run of 20-plus in this ball game. That's the 17th first down. And the ball right at the 50-yard line on the left hash. 3 minutes left. Eagles get ready to get their 6th win of the season overall and go to 3-1 in district. Twins right, receiver left. Hand off again, stop and go. 50, 45, and up to the 42-yard line. Once again, that's Hill. As Hill will get, looks like Hill will get about 8 yards on that one. Keeps the clock running as well. He's got 79 yards so far on the ground for 7 carries. Second out and 2 now from the Clovis 42, letting the clock run with 2:18 remaining. Twins right, receiver left, Eagles up 51-22. Handoff coming around the right side and going hard. Gets spun around at the 35, but fumbled the football. And Clovis got a strip on that one. That would have been a first down. And the fumble on the play by DeMarcus Hill. But the fumble's going to go back to Clovis.
But I believe there.
Or was that Seamus Wright? It was Seamus Wright that had the carry that time. But the fumble will be the first turnover of the ball game for the Eagles, as Clovis will get it back at their own 34 on the left hash. 2:07 remaining in the game. Clovis' last hurrah here, down 51-22. Their last win was back in 2000. Eagles have won 21, 22, 23, 24. This will be the 5th in a row on this contest. Twins right, receiver left for the Wildcats. Back in shotgun, Jimenez. Claps his hands, steps back, 3-step drop, wants to throw, pump fake, it's rushed, and it's going down. Wheeler was there second to go over the top of him, but wrapping up his legs first for the Eagles, Jeremiah Mackey. And that's going to be a big loss. Looks like about 9 yards. Yep, 9-yard loss due to Mackey wrapping those legs up and getting some help from Amron Wheeler. Should mention, too, I didn't get a chance to say this, but McCool had been inserted at quarterback on that last series for the Eagles on those couple of plays that the Eagles did have. Backup quarterback for Hobbs, who's right on taking a breather. Second down and 19 now from the 25-yard line. Shotgun. Jimenez going to fake the handoff on the reverse left. It goes around the right end, hurdles a player at the 25, and stumbles ahead for a couple extra. We got late flags coming in. Dead ball fouls, it looks like. Probably the same one. They have a couple of flags. Maybe 2 yards on that one for Jimenez. He would have been down in the backfield possibly, but then kind of extended out a little bit. Personal foul. I think they call horse collar. Yep, horse collar foul against the Eagles.
And you know what? At this time, you really don't want none of that. You just want to kind of, again, you don't want the other team to score, but at the same time, you want to be able to just have clean, good tackles and be able to let the game flow.
110 yards in penalties now for the Eagles. 10 penalties and 110 yards. That'll be a first down for Clovis. That's their 19th. They'll be now at their own 44-yard line. Clock down to 1:13 remaining. Hobbs up 51-22. Officials trying to get their chain set here as they had to stop action for just a second. Got the chain set. Again, back at the 44-yard line for the Wildcats, still on their side of the field. The Eagles, a little bit of a pass prevent look here, 4 on the front line. Shotgun for Jimenez by himself in the backfield. Turns and fires the screen route to the far right. Caught at the 40, 45, 50, 45 of the Eagles, 40, 35. And a 23-yard pickup off the screen. So Gutierrez catches that one and runs up the sideline far side. 23 yards on the catch. Only the 4th reception of the ball game, the first in the second half. They are 4 of 16 in the passing department.
Man, this has been a great game overall, man. I done seen the defense improve, and they're keeping it going, and that's what I love to see.
At the 34-yard line, 40 seconds and ticking. Twins left, receiver right. Shotgun to Jimenez by himself. 3-step drop, fires the screen to the left side. Catch is made at the 35, 30, near side, and pushed out of bounds at the 27. Will be a first down. No, it isn't, sorry. That'll be a 5-yard pickup. And the man that made the catch for Clovis was Kaiden Everett. So they give him, actually, looks like 6 on the play. So Everett gets 6.
Second and 4 for the Wildcats.
I think that's his first catch of the game. 5 receptions out of 17 attempts. Second down and 4 now from the Eagle 28-yard line. Clock down to 30 seconds. Jimenez gets the shotgun by himself, fakes the screen right, then decides to throw it anyway, but throws it ahead of his receiver on the right side, almost picked off. Right in the area on that right flat for the Eagles. Waiting for it was Javen Hernandez. It's kind of, you never really see a pump fake to a screen and then still throw it because you kind of keep the receiver in limbo. Am I supposed to come up to the ball or to get my head clock clean because I'm stalling right there and the defensive back is going to take me out, or I mean, he just had to kind of flip his hand out there to knock it away, but Hernandez just kind of went for an INT as well.
You're right. It does give a little confusion there.
Incomplete for the Eagles on that, or for Clovis, I should say, on that one. They're now 5 of 18 in the passing game. Clock stop with 25 seconds due to the incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the Eagle 28-yard line. Shotgun again to Jimenez. 4-step drop, 5-step drop, back to the 40. Throws it down the middle. Little slant, caught at the 25, heading left side, 20, 15, 10, 5, heading to the end zone, and a touchdown. That's Gutierrez, a 27-yard pass play. His 2nd catch here in this 4th quarter. 2 catches for 50 yards, all in this half. So Clovis back in the end zone. Their 6th reception of the night, 51-28, pinning the PAT. As they're ready for the extra point. They actually going to try to kick this one. Not very often you're going to see the Wildcats do this. Good snap, kick is up. And the kick is good as it's converted by Josiah Trujillo. 13.7 left here in the 4th. The Hobbs Eagles up big though, 51-29 over the Wildcats of Clovis. Back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Thirteen seconds left here in Clovis. Your Hobbs Eagles up 51-29. Clovis scoring with a 27-yard pass to Gutierrez from Jimenez. Probably the final points of this ball game. Eagles will return this kickoff, but I don't know if they can chew off 13 seconds. We'll have to wait and see. They might have to run one play on their offensive set, which will be a kneel down. So pretty much that's going to be the final score, right, Sovereign?
It is, man. It is. And it looks like they're going to kick it, but you can always get a kickoff return from this.
Also going to be an onside, you can imagine here, even though there's no chance for a comeback for Clovis. They will boot it. We got a flag flying offsides on the line of scrimmage here as the team was well ahead of the kicker. So a 5-yard penalty for Clovis. Clovis has racked up some penalties in the second half, had 6 of them. Wait a second here. Oh, I thought he said penalties offset. I don't know what he means by that. Now they're going to mark it 5 on the offside against the kicking team, Clovis. 75 yards in penalties for the Wildcats on 9 total flags. Road trip next week, Thursday night, and a home game for Halloween, the 31st, to wrap up the regular season. Eagles definitely in the playoffs, no questions about that. The question is whether they can get that 4 or higher seed for a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Definitely going to help their cause with this win tonight, and hopefully 2 more. They're all bunched up on the line here to kick off. Another onside kick, and it's pulled down quickly at the 45. Sure hands on that one for the Eagles. Lunge it to the football, kind of falling forward, and he comes down with it with 2 hands on each end of it. That good hands play by Caleb Blackman. As Hobbs will have it at the Clovis 45 for a kneel down to end this ball game. Trying to get the footballs exchanged in here. So Sovereign Eagles improved to 6-2, 3-1 in the district with 2 games remaining. And definitely want to keep the record with only the 2 losses. That's going to help yourself in that committee at NMAA in a few weeks making a decision. La Cueva, that team hovering around that possible 4th spot. They already beat Centennial, so that's going to be a bonus for the Eagles on that one. I don't see any other teams really vying for that position unless there's some crazy stuff happened the last couple weeks. They'll just shotgun it back, and McCool will take the kneel down. He's got to go with the -4 in the stat book here, unfortunately, being the last guy to kneel with it. So that'll be the ball game as your Hobbs Eagles win it 51-29 on the road here in Clovis over the Wildcats. We'll take a 4-minute break, get you back with some from final game stats here. Stay with us live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet. Welcome back to Clovis as your Hobbs Eagles pick up a big win and knock off the Wildcats, and picking up their 6th win of the season. Hobbs now 6-2, 3-1 in district. As the final score, 51-29. Eagles winning by 22, and of course, kind of a tight game. It was 17-14 at the half. Eagles getting that 31-yard field goal, giving a little bit of momentum from Beatty's kick before the break, and then come out with all that scoring that they had in that third quarter. I mean, just continue to level it up there. What was it, 24 unanswered points, I believe, at that point. Had 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, and then scored 2 more in the fourth to put the icing on the cake. But again, at the beginning of the ball game, Clovis scored. Hobbs, returned their touchdown. Clovis scored again. Hobbs returned a touchdown, and it was tied at 14 eventually. And then that field goal. After that, Hobbs really turned the screws and got those 3 touchdowns in the third and took care of some business, some insurance points. Clovis kind of knocked at the door a little bit, but they started to shoot themselves in the foot with some penalties, and the Eagles just completely manhandled it to finish up the game.
Man, it was great, man, how they, ended it off and everything like that, and able to come out in that second half to be able to pull that fire out of them, and that's what they did, because like you were saying earlier, it was close. It was touchdown after touchdown, back and back, back and forth, back and forth. But when they came out of that, locker room, it's like Coach put a fire in them, like, come on, let's go, let's go. And they was able to prove it out here on the field, and that's what we seen, and that's how they ended off with.
Now, of course, coming into the game, we were expecting pretty much just the Jimenez running show for Clovis, and he did get his yards, but at the same time, they started off with the pass early. Passing game just wasn't there much for Clovis at all. I mean, they just couldn't get things taken care of. They ended up being 6 of 19 throwing the football, but they didn't have they had 3 receptions in the first half and barely got 3 late in the ball game, so nothing really expansive there in terms of their offense. But the running game, Hobbs knew it was coming, and it was coming from Jimenez, but not enough to get this win, though, for him.
Yeah, and you're right. And don't get me wrong, Jimenez was, making a lot of the plays, making a lot of moves during the first half. But come out in the second half, man, you really didn't see too much of him. He was throwing a little bit more, in the passing game. But again, one player can't do the show. And like you were saying earlier, man, if they can be able to stop one player, man, I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of both. But that's what they did. But we got to give it up for Jimenez, man. He had a heck of a game out there, man. Great player for Clovis, and he did his job, and he did what he was supposed to do on the field.
Let's look at some numbers here for the Wildcats. Their leading rusher was Jimenez, 22 carries, 112 yards. He did have a 6-yard score for a touchdown in the contest, his only rushing touchdown of the ball game. So he definitely was ahead of the pack. Royal really had a contest as well running the football for the Wildcats. John Royal, 16 carries for 91, just shy of the 100 mark, had 2 rushing touchdowns of 2 and 4 yards. Big drop-off after that. Ochoa, the fullback, 8 carries for 27 yards. Tapia had 2 for 12. Everett had 3 for 6, and that was pretty much it for their running game. 246 unofficially yards for Clovis in that contest on the ground.
And you know what, man? You got to give it to the running backs and the fullbacks, in the back of Clovis, man. They ran hard. Also, even with the score being the way it was, and also all the way to the end of the game, they ran hard. And that's what you want to see by those players right there. And, man, I got to give it up for Ochoa and Royal, man. They was back there, pushing forth and kind of, pushing up those first downs that the team really needed on the Clovis side. So, man, they did good on the ground.
Jimenez in the passing game was 6 of 19, as we mentioned before. Clements a catch for 29, Ochoa 1 for 6. Brown had the big one to start the game, a 46-yarder. And then in the second half, Gutierrez had 2 late catches, one including a 27-yard touchdown snag, 2 for 50 in the game. And then Everett had 1 for 6 in the contest. So that's pretty much it. Again, 6 of 19. Total passing yards at 137. So they finish up shy of 400 at 383. Not horrible for a team that's kind of near the basement of the district, but they had a good motivation to start this ball game to try to pick off the Eagles, who have won the last 4 out of 5, because tonight, they won the last 4, add on this game tonight, making it 5 in a row for the Eagles since 2000.
Man, and they did, and their sideline gave them that hype too as well. When your team can be able to pull that fire out of you, keep pumping you up, keeping you going, and they came out here ready to play, man. It scared. I know it scared Hobbs a little bit, like, hey, where did Clovis get this from, man? But they came out here on fire. They came to play. Unfortunately, they didn't end off with the fire, but again, man, they had a heck of a game.
And consistent movement of the football, especially in the first half. They finished up with 20 first downs in the ball game for the Wildcats. Penalty-wise, they started adding a lot in the second half. They had 9 for 75 yards total in the contest. Switching over to the Hobbs Eagles numbers, the most important stuff. Triple digits again for Medrano on the running game. His fourth game in a row, 100-plus. He had 124 on 13 carries. Predominant number of those in the first half. He had 81 yards on the ground to start it. 1 yard rushing touchdown in the first half. Finished with 1 score on the ground. So 13 for 124. Another big night for him. DeMarcus Hill, thanks to a 24 and 23-yarder in the game, he ended up with 7 carries for 79 yards. So definitely another one to add to the numbers. And right behind him was Seamus Wright, 11 carries for 74 yards, including a touchdown from 11 yards out. Really nice to have your quarterback at 124 and 2 of your running backs at 70-plus to complement your running attack.
Man, that is great right there, man. Them 3 guys right there in the backfield, man, they're dangerous, man. It's like, man, Medrano give his running backs the fire, and the firebacks give their quarterback the fire. And, man, with Medrano, man, you got to clap it up for him. And DeMarcus, like I said, DeMarcus is just a run-up-the-head type of running back, and he gets there. And with Seamus, man, he's a strategic running back, so he looks for open holes. He get there, and, man, with all those numbers combined, man, they did great out there on the field tonight.
Eagles 295 yards unofficially, just shy of 300 in the running game. Passing department, the Eagles were 10 of 15. Beatty, the leader, 4 catches for 70 yards, had a big touchdown snag for 34, his longest of the game. So, again, he had 2 touchdowns last week, another one tonight. Definitely a great showing for him. Also getting some catches, too. Mora had him in the first half, 2 for 24. We had Amrix Wheeler coming in the second half. The sophomore had a catch for 23 and a touchdown. Definitely a cool night for him, his first catch of the season. Seamus Wright coming out of the backfield, 2 catches for 13. It was Justice Fringe, kind of a quiet night for him. He had 1 for 9 yards. And once again, Eagles connecting on 10 receptions in this ball game, a total of 139 yards. Eagles at 434 yards, again, compared to Clovis's 383 in the matchup. Hobbs managing 17 first downs in the game. Now, penalties, of course, have been an issue. Eagles over 100 yards in terms of that. They only had 3 penalties for 30 yards in the first half, but they started to stack them up. A lot of holding penalties in this game and some personal foul face mask.
Yeah, and that's right. And, Ty, what I loved and what I've seen a major improvement of tonight is, like you said, only 3 penalties tonight. And from the previous game, the first half, the first half, 3 penalties from the first half. So, you really didn't see too much of that through the previous games that they had before. It's been a lot of penalties, and so that right there, they were able to clean that up and kind of shorten the mistakes on the penalty too as well. But, man, during the passing game, man, I seen it a little bit, man. I was hoping to see a little bit more passing game, but hey, the running game was working tonight, and passing game got there, and that's where you got a touchdown by Beatty, and Beatty did great with the great catches he had. And so, man, I seen some great things tonight.
And go back to the penalties, 10 total for 110 yards. So more than a football field, but, again, who cares when you have the 51-29 win as the Eagles did. So that's pretty much it. Again, 434 yards in the books for the Eagles unofficially, and lots of guys getting a piece of the pie. 3 big rushing attackers for the Eagles, and some receivers always adding to the mix as well. Hobbs has been more majority running game the last few games, of course, and has really outdistanced in terms of the running attack. But you have some receivers that can get out there too, which is a multiple threat. We came into this game with 2,112 yards rushing, passing 1,207. So the running game has been established this season. But again, when you have receivers that got some skills too, that gives some defensive coaches a chance to kind of grab some hair out of their head because they don't know what you're going to bring at.
And you know what, man? The thing about Coach Stevens, man, he's the type of coach that got tricks up his sleeve. So he can have the stay confused about running, but also use his receiver at a greater time. So hey, even though we've seen a lot of the run game this season and seen it through the previous game all the way up to now and seen it tonight, man, we can't doubt the receivers because he do have some dependable receivers out there that can make some plays and make some catches.
Next week, the Eagles have a Thursday night game, Thursday night football in Las Cruces, taking on Centennial. And Centennial just thrashed Oregon Mountain, or actually we're taking on Oregon Mountain. Centennial thrashed Oregon Mountain tonight, 54-8, so winning by 46 points. Again, Oregon Mountain will be the team Hobbs faces on Thursday. The Oregon Mountain squad 2-7 on the season and 0-5 in district, so they'll be looking for their first win. They're the bottom of the district now, and so that always is an incentive. It's a tough road trip for a Thursday night. Eagles happen to go down there. I don't think they had to worry about that last year, but it seems like years past they've always had a Thursday night game, and it's usually against Oregon Mountain, it seems like. So, again, not the most favorite night of the night to play, or the week to play these games, but the Hobbs team's got to do it, and they got to continue to add on to their win totals because they're going to have to worry about teams like La Cueva. We did get a final score coming in for the Rio Rancho Volcano Vista game. Rio Rancho wins 28-21, so that would give Hobbs another bonus against a team that's in that top 10 team look squads. That's a good stat or a good result to hear for tonight as Volcano Vista loses that one.
It is, and man, they got some great games coming up, and may they have that same consistency that they had tonight and clean up a little bit of things that they have, mistakes in the weekend with the upcoming games. And I believe, man, going to the playoffs, man, they'll be good and be great. But, speaking of, games that already passed and final games and everything like that, we did have some final games, here, there at the Lee County area and everything like that. We have Lovington and Gaston with a final game, Lovington 58 and Gaston 28. And then you have another final game from Eunice and Texaco. Eunice 34 and Texaco 42. Then you have another final game with Tatum and Mascalero. Tatum 52, Mascalero 6 for the final game.
Yeah, boy, Texaco came back to win that one. Eunice ranked second in the state, so disappointing loss for the Cardinals. And then Tatum coming back after a loss last week to beat Mascalero pretty big. And Lovington is ranked third in the state right now in the 5A. Of course, Eagles beat them earlier, so they're in a tough district with Roswell and, of course, Artesia, who's number 1. So, again, that's a big 30-point win, although Gadsden's on the rise this season. So, again, Eagles will have that game next week. That will be in Las Cruces against Oregon Mountain on Thursday night. We'll have the pregame show at 6:45, the kickoff at 7. Of course, bringing you that action no matter what day of the week we're having. We're going to make sure you get the Hobbs Eagles. We also want to thank our sponsors on the season. Of course, they keep these games broadcasted live on the radio and on the internet for free, and that includes great sponsors like the Lee County State Bank, Eastern New Mexico University, Lasco Construction, NMR Pipeline, Outlaw Sports Grill, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, JBW Solutions, SunGuard Precision, the Bel Air Bowl, Devon Energy, Badger, Master Plumbers, Forest Tire, TDS, and Divine Energy Services. Again, the final score here in Clovis, Hobbs 51, the Wildcats 29. Until Thursday night at 6:45, Sovereign Anthony, Ty Friend, Evie Stuber, and Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Have a great weekend out there.